Welcome back to Bad Movies Rule. Bad podcasts are the disease, and we're the cure. We're talking about Cobra. We've got the alpha male, Joe Goratowski, in the house.
How you doing?
We got the manimal, Bob Hauser. And the human movie database, Ryan Farrell. Let's go.
That's a very true one, the human movie database.
Instead of IMDb, it's HMDb.
IMDb's got nothing on me.
When did you become the manimal?
HMDB sounds like a sexual transmitted disease.
He became the manimal literally right now.
Yeah.
Also,
The manimal.
I should say, joining us for the first time ever over at the kids' table, we have the third Hauser sibling, Rachel Hauser's in the house. What's up, Rachel?
Rachel!
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for coming in today.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I could be here.
All the way up from Alabama, so if she talks a little funny, don't worry. And Rachel herself, and the reason I wanted her to be here was, one, because I haven't seen her in a long time, so, you know, I'm glad you're here. But two, is that former police officer, and we're doing a cop movie, so I'm like, this is going to be perfect. You can help us ascertain whether all the police procedure was properly followed in this film.
Oh, yeah. No, it totally was, James.
We're missing a few pages.
Those pages end up being smoked or thrown away.
They were ripped out.
Joe, you look a little leathery today.
Yeah, just, you know, see, I was trying to be Cobra, but I think I look more like Arnold right now, to be honest with you.
You dressed up for the wrong movie?
Yeah, I think I did. But, yeah.
You're like the second half of that meme, like me before watching Cobra, me after watching Cobra. Just missing the matchstick, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys are here. And also, Ryan Farrell, first time back in a while because you went and had a baby.
Yeah.
Not me, not you personally, but your wife did.
No, yeah.
He
Yeah.
helped.
Yeah.
He helped out.
I was there to catch it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Literally?
Literally.
Yeah, I heard there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, like I baseball slid in because, my wife started to go into labor
In the hallway.
in the hallway of the hospital, and just kind of like,
Left-handed mid or right-handed mid?
See?
you know, I don't remember. It all happened so fast. But
He became the fourth consigliere of the Tetragrammatron and did the little slide move.
yes, my gun kata was, or gun fu, whatever it is, utilized.
Awesome.
But it was great.
Let's talk about some of the vitals. I said we're talking about Cobra 1986. The movie was directed by George P. Cosmatos, who you might know from Tombstone as being probably not, but the credited director on that movie. And what else has he done, Ryan? Do you know?
He did Rambo First Blood Part 2.
That was him too?
Yes.
I want what they want.
Yes.
That was him.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Awesome.
He started his career in Hollywood with a film called Of Unknown Origin, which starred Peter Weller.
Okay. Then if he's in it, I don't care.
Very well could be a candidate for this podcast.
We'll have to look into that one too.
It's a good movie, actually. It's a pretty good movie.
This movie was written by a very accomplished screenwriter, Mr. Sylvester Stallone. Let's give it up for Sly.
Hey, he is an Oscar-nominated screenwriter.
I know. I'm not being sarcastic.
Normally, you sound sarcastic all the time.
I
but
know.
this time
People
he
just
wasn't trying.
assume that's my default.
That's just James's voice.
No, come on. I was thrilled when I saw that Stallone was in here as the writer.
Yeah.
And maybe, at the end, we'll see if I thought it was his best screenplay of all time. But, we'll get to that when we decide if it's a good, bad, or indifferent movie.
Right. Yeah. Rocky Balboa, Rocky, Rambo.
All of that
And
stuff.
then Cobra.
And then Cobra, a canon picture, which I probably should have said right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is a canon picture. This is one of...
With Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Right. And
Sorry.
what other canon pictures did he? He did Over the Top was a canon picture. Which I'm saving. I know everyone and their mother has emailed the show going, we got to do Over the Top because it's, an arm wrestling movie that centers around a child custody case.
Yeah. And semi-trucks. You can't.
That's actually a very common.
Is it in your
common.
experience?
Very oily men.
It's
More
tragic.
common than you think.
Well, there you go. See, this is what happens when you're a cop in Alabama. Up here in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
it's usually over a 6-pack of beers is what, yeah, right. Okay.
Well, this is a first for this type of movie that's been on the show because this movie made a crap ton of money.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to get to right now. Well, besides it starring Sylvester Stallone, I should say that as well, and Brigitte Nielsen, his wife at the time, and a very sweaty Brian Thompson in this movie.
Perpetually sweaty.
As the night slasher, perpetually sweaty.
And really his breakout role, more or less.
The night slasher with a private army.
It's the second movie he did on this show because he was also one of the Germans in Three Amigos.
Oh, yeah.
One of the German buddies there that was in that film.
Yeah.
But he's probably most famously known among the people that listen to this as playing Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, I would say so.
A terrible movie.
And he was in Lionheart with Van
Yes,
Damme.
that's right. That's right.
And he was Punk number 3 in the Terminator.
That was his first movie.
That was his first movie, getting his guts punched out by Arnold.
Him and Bill Paxton.
And Bill Paxton,
That's right.
yeah, exactly.
Some blue mohawks and
Blue
all that
Mohawk,
stuff.
Bill Paxton, and Brian Thompson.
So it probably won't be the last time we see Brian Thompson on the show, is all I have to say about that.
That's probably true.
The movie, as Bob just said, had a budget of $25 million, pretty large for our show, and a box office of $160 million.
Yeah.
So it made
worldwide success.
a ton of money. Do you want to know how hot Stallone was in the mid-'80s? He could be in anything and it would have made money.
You could have farted on a pillow and sold it. Yeah. Made money.
You know,
Just pink eye for everybody. Didn't
Just
matter.
pink eye for
he
everyone.
missed the Twitter generation, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
The movie is currently right at the Air America line of demarcation at a 5.8 on IMDb, the same rating as Air America.
Wow.
It's an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 43% audience score. So most of the critics hated it and less than half of the people liked it. That's not good.
I mean, it was an award nominee, though.
What did it get nominated for?
6 Razzies.
Oh, well, I meant like real
come
awards.
on.
I thought it was going to get like a Saturn Award nomination or
that's,
something.
you know what?
Like
Here's
action
the funny
scene or
thing.
something.
When you look at bad movies, they do like some of them. A lot of them do have Saturn Awards or Golden Satellites or whatever. Some
PMR Award.
something.
The Beijing Crying
Something.
Monkey Award.
MTV Movie Awards.
The only
Best
movie,
Kiss winner.
The only nominations that Cobra has is from the Razzies.
Well, I wonder how many.
The Razzies always has a beef with two
Stallone.
people, with Stallone and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, I wonder how many total nominations Stallone has
Those
received.
two guys probably have the most Razzies out of anybody.
Probably the same number of movies he's appeared in, would be my guess.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Stallone is to the Razzies as Meryl Streep is to the Oscars.
Well,
so
there you go.
You know,
Didn't he win? Didn't he was nominated for Academy Award for Creed and a Razzie for what was it?
oh, you're right. You know what? We were just talking
At
about
the
this.
same time?
That Stallone
Raspberry
is
like
dis-
raspberry.
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
Yeah.
the Razzies are these basically rates these movie awards that they give out to the worst movies every year. They're
Yeah.
called the Golden Raspberries.
the Golden Raspberry Award. Yeah, worst
So, like,
picture,
worst movie.
worst actor,
I know.
all that stuff.
As
Yeah.
much about movies that's in this book.
Oh, perfect.
That's perfect.
We're not here because of your movie knowledge. That's why we've got
Right.
Ryan.
Oh,
We're here
gotcha. Okay.
for your
Yeah.
police intuition
All right. Well, I'll
Yeah.
call
and all of that.
You will.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
then just color that book. You're at the kids' table for a reason.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right, so I should probably say, because I usually do this off the bat, but we kind of just jumped right in. For those of you who are new to the show, this is what we do. We go through the particulars of the movie. We tell you the scores, why it qualifies as a bad movie to be on our show. We haven't yet said whether we think it's a bad movie. We'll do that at the end, but we're going to examine it. We're going to go through the movie scene by scene. We're going to talk through all of the particulars, and we
Iron
are
out.
going to roast the crap out of it because that's what we do. We're primarily a roast show, and even the ones we end up loving, we give them all the business, okay? Fair and square.
Yeah, it seems there's been some
So get your horrible hate.
nomenclature confusion about that recently.
Yeah.
So get your hate mail. Get those fingers ready, you
Lay it
fat
out there.
Twinkies.
If you'd like to send Bob some hate mail, you
Yeah,
can
send
do
me some
that.
hate mail, you lasers, pieces of crap.
All right, you can do that.
Never
at-
touched a vagina before.
Okay, let me
I
get this
agree with
out.
Bob
Come
on
on.
this, to be honest with you.
Send me the hate mail because you guys are worthless.
They can't send you if I don't tell them what the email is.
Oh, that's right. The show is trash at gmail.com.
That's right, all
got
one
that
word, and that's not a joke.
And go F your mother.
It's this show is trash at gmail.com. This show is trash at gmail.com. All right.
People don't get it. That's the problem. They just don't get it.
No.
Yeah, but that's fine.
How can you make fun of Last Starfighter is the best piece of cinema history?
All right, Bob is referring to, we just recently released, by the time this come out, it will have been,
It's been out for a little while.
it's been out a few weeks, but by the time we're recording it, we just released Last Starfighter, and some people are not happy we talked about it. Here's the thing I want to say about that. I don't want to spend a ton of time because we got to get to Cobra. Your favorite movie sucks, okay? I'm just telling you that. Whatever it is, there is someone out there that thinks it's garbage. There are people that love the worst movies we've talked about, Boyfriend School, Garbage Pail Kids, that have said to us, this is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Art is subjective. So please save your time from going on whatever app we're on and messaging me. How can you talk about this movie? It's not bad. That's your opinion.
I want to talk to your parents. I want to talk to your parents about how they were able to conceive you.
Okay. So you might think it's bad.
Ryan
That's
knows
great.
how
You
that
might think
works.
it's the greatest movie of all time. And if you think it's the greatest movie of all time, that's great. But somebody said, if it's on our show, somebody somewhere, we have criteria, has said it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay? End of story.
Stop coming at us.
I feel like I've said this 400 times on the show already.
Say it another 400
okay.
times. Stop being a baby.
Just going to keep beating this into the ground. All right, you guys ready to just jump into this movie?
We need
Oh,
a
I would
dead
love
horse.
to. I would love to.
Do we have a dead horse here? We have everything else on this table.
We should get a dead horse just for me to smack it while I'm talking with the flip-flop here. All right, let's talk about the movie.
Could be a new thing. The Dead Horse Award. Flogging a dead horse award or something.
That's just Bob's rant on everybody who comments on these things.
All right, the movie starts with a sly voiceover.
What? What'd you say?
A sly voiceover. The movie starts with Sylvester Stallone talking about how many rapes and killings.
By the way, I'd like to add that he can't add very well. And that's like number one. That should be the number one
Okay.
that you have to have
Yes.
in order to get on the force.
You have to be able to do math.
Yes.
At
He
least.
said
So the
5. Wait, he started off with
Every
11 burglaries every 11 or burglaries 11 seconds, and then what was it? 65 armed robberies every 65 seconds or whatever. And then he says, and then there's every 25 seconds of violent crime.
Yeah.
Well, 65 seconds is armed robbery plus 11's burglary.
Yeah.
That's
Artie, you're saying the evidence doesn't add up.
right.
He's on the zombie squad. Come on. You don't have to count. You don't have to talk. Have a speech pattern.
All right, let's talk about that for a
the
second.
pinnacle of the voiceover being though, there's a murder every 24 minutes, and there's 256 rapes a day.
That's right. First of all, did they just wake him up when he did this voiceover?
I mean,
That's the most tired, and he's always kind of sounds a little bit tired, but it sounded like they just went, Sly, wake up. We got to do this voiceover.
In the 80s, yeah, with him. By that point in his career,
Yes.
yeah, this is representing a low turn for Sly. I'll tell you this.
All right, well, let's do this real quick before you, because you brought it up, and I want to lay the kind of the synopsis out for everybody so they know what to expect. What the heck is the zombie squad? Because I feel like they don't really explain it in the movie.
No,
they
they don't.
reference the fact that he's on the zombie squad, but what the hell is a zombie squad?
So you're saying there's some very important part of the movie that should be hashed out a little bit more
Yes.
than ever is?
Yes, but I think we had to at
Okay.
least explain that up front, or it won't make any sense.
You're making me
So we're gonna
disappointed.
do what the movie didn't and explain what the zombie squad is.
Ooh, good call.
Okay,
Night shift.
it's like the night, but it's like you're not. Are they not really cops?
No,
they call them.
not
They
night
call
shift.
themselves the bottom line,
Yeah.
right? Like they're the ones they send out when the cops can't do what they got to do.
Well, evidently, according to the description, it makes him a one-man assault team.
Okay,
But he's got a partner.
right.
Right.
There's some structure. He answers to someone, Gonzalez, Sergeant Gonzalez, or whatever.
Yes. Sergeant Gonzalez.
His handler.
Hold on.
Yeah, sorry.
Another little bit. So Sergeant Gonzalez is the handler of Lieutenant Cobretti.
Yeah.
Marion Cobretti. Yeah.
Sergeant is the handler of the lieutenant.
That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Sergeants handle the lieutenants.
Sure. Right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
They
Okay.
can't count.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, why get a rank hierarchy either?
No,
you
I
know?
get the sense that the zombie squad are the guys that kind of just operate outside the rules and kind of just are the bottom line, meaning when the cops can't, they just go do it themselves.
Hey, can I throw this out here now?
do it? What?
Hashtag release the Stallone cut.
There's a Stallone cut of this?
Yes, there is.
Hashtag
Really?
or whatever. What should we call it? The Sly cut?
Sly cut.
Like
Hashtag release the Sly cut.
it's like 30 minutes longer.
The
isn't it?
original version of Cobra was 130 minutes.
What?
The theatrical version as it stands is 87.
Yeah, hour 27. I was like, fantastic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
jumped for joy when I saw this.
Yeah. But there is a Stallone cut.
Yep. They wanted to shorten it to be able to like show in theaters.
Turn more.
Oh, yeah.
was like
Because
that,
Top
too?
Gun. So
Yeah.
Top Gun had come out a week before.
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers was worried that, oh, well, Top Gun has so many showings because it's an under 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
So they wanted the movie shortened so that they could add one more showtime to the theatrical run.
Well, they made a lot of money, so
I mean, yeah,
it's hard to argue with that. It worked out, but as far as the quality of the film, who can say which one would be better? Probably the longer.
I mean, I guess we're not there yet.
We'll see.
Release the slide cut.
All right.
Yeah. So back up, Zombie Squad.
Yes, please.
Just the idiots, just the morons get put in the Zombie Squad. The ones that just like
Got it. You're too stupid to be a cop.
Yeah.
So you get to be on the zombie squad.
has a handler. So it's like. So he's put there. He doesn't know anything.
Okay.
He's
He thinks
disposable.
he's hunting zombies, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Could be.
He's disposable.
Awesome.
I'm thinking that's what it is.
Well,
That's
as-
my
as-
best guess.
As we jump into the first scene, it's kind of like you get the idea of, the cops are setting up the perimeter around the grocery store.
Yeah, so let's get
So
there.
let's get there.
So essentially, we have the opening credits, Sly's super lazy voiceover, and then there's these weird cuts between what looks like an axe cult, an axe-wielding satanic cult,
Oh yeah, it's the Axe Union.
and then the Shadow Rider, this guy that's backlit and you can't see who he is.
He's coming out of the sunset or
Eventually.
sunrise, whatever.
This Shadow Rider pulls into the grocery store, and it's Marco Rodriguez is the actor's name.
Pulls into a handicap spot.
Yeah, he does.
What a jerk.
That's why Sly went in after him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
It's only until he got in there, he's like, oh crap, there's some other stuff going on in here.
I told Bob that we should do that someday.
I thought it was over
Just-
the watermelon.
Just
get handicapped.
Just pull it into a handicap
No,
spot?
have we should do a movie
We're way
about
off.
like a tactical handicap enforcement squad.
jeez.
Just tases everybody.
Just anyone that pulls
Sliding
into
over cars.
Some guy just pulls into a handicap spot at a bank.
Didn't we do
Oh.
Bob
We
just
did
shows
that.
up.
It's called Mummer Man.
Yeah, it's
we
called
already
Mummer
did.
Man. We did that already.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right. They own that idea. You can't do it anymore.
Right.
All right.
Too late.
Less
We
on
beat
that
you to
now.
it.
More till episode 100 when we cover that one. Ooh. All right. So the guy walks into this grocery store and he's just got like this dead-eyed look on his face. He starts pushing people's carts and people out of the way. And
And slack jawed.
yeah, right. Looked like he was wearing a mask almost, but it was just his flesh. And he eventually, the beefiest farm stand boy
my
I've ever
gosh.
seen in my life. He's like, you know where the weight room is?
Jacked.
Like he went over to him, sir, can I help you with something? And he turns around, pulls out a shotgun, and you think farm stand boy is going to get it.
Nope.
No, he just blasts
produce.
the watermelon
Oh, the produce.
The produce was too high.
and the soda and the
Yeah.
chips, and he just starts shooting
man.
at groceries.
You know what it was? It was gang initiation time. So
It was.
knock out as much produce as you can.
What we didn't know is that a watermelon killed his father.
That's true. Watermelons did kill his father.
Right.
He was a fruit salesman.
It's a very
Hey, I mean, he was probably a fruit farmer.
Right.
Long line of fruit farmers in the family.
The police show up. Obviously, they set out a perimeter, right? They've all got their guns drawn.
That's
Tac
how it-
squad.
This is how it works, right?
SWAT is there. You got to get
Yeah,
SWAT
you
with
have to get
people.
super close to the building.
Yeah, really close. Within
Very close. As close as you can possibly get.
Get really close to the building to set up a perimeter. Yeah.
and you're being led by Andy Robinson,
right.
Scorpio.
When watermelons
it.
have been
Love
shot,
it.
you got to get the SWAT team out and everything and
Yes,
everybody, right?
and get as close.
And then get the news people as close as they can.
Right.
Yeah,
And
the
like-
news people
And then
just
the
let
cr-
them through the perimeter.
Right. And then you have to get the crowd that's always there.
Yeah.
That's right.
With the
barricade.
the barricade, the horse barricade.
Those
Yeah.
are those
All
are
that gets
bulletproof.
moved.
Yeah, those are bulletproof.
Everything gets moved towards the building.
That's
Okay.
what I thought.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you could just
Sit
as an
a little
aside, move a little closer to the microphone, that'd be awesome. Okay, sorry. You're good. All right.
I did
So,
that. Knocked the table over.
all right. So, the police set up, and then we cut back inside, and the guy tells this one hostage, there's hostages hiding under tables and things. And he goes, "Get up, man. You're free. Get out of here." And the dude, like, walks as slow as he possibly
Oh, yeah.
can because he's like, I don't know, doesn't believe him or whatever, which he shouldn't. And it's not until he breaks out into a dead run that the guy blasts him right in the back.
Yeah. In that puffy vest.
Yeah.
Right in that puffy vest.
Well, he had to have a puffy vest so he could have all the squibs in there.
That's the only thing I thought as I'm watching the scene. I'm like, yeah, that's crafty because the giant squibs are right there.
Yeah, he apparently shot him with a birdshot.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly
It was.
literally.
Yeah.
right into a
literally-
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Oof.
Was this a Christmas movie?
I don't know. There's a Christmas tree.
This is all during Christmas. By the
Yeah.
way.
How about that?
Really?
Stallone, when going further, when he's in his apartment, he's watching a Christmas.
Oh, this is
Like,
true. He's watching
this
a
is
Christmas show.
movie.
Okay. This is before Die Hard too, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
2 years before Die Hard.
All right. So finally, the cops are like,
I'm bringing
There's-
this one out next
the cops-
Christmas for my kids.
the cops are like, there's only 52 of us. We can't do it. It's time to call the Cobra.
Time to call the Cobra.
The Cobra. They don't call him Cobra. It says time to call the Cobra.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different statement. Art LaFleur, first time back since Air America.
Yeah.
So look at this. He's in 2 5.8 movies.
Yep.
On this podcast.
I like how they're all running up to each other with their little tiny
six-shooters.
Six-shooters.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, call the Cobra.
Now, Sly, go ahead. You got something?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Sly gets there, and Joe, I know you're going to tell me what kind of car was this that Sly was driving.
Oh, come on, man! I'm not that much. Clint is the.
I thought this was right up your alley.
I like
that
cars,
you would
but
love
I'm
this
not
car.
like
you weren't into this car when you pulled up.
Buick. It's a
No, it's a 50s.
It's a
1950
Cobra.
I just remember the license. I just remember the license plate.
It's a lead
awesome
sled,
50.
you guys.
Well, I know what a lead sled, but it's a Buick, but was modified.
It's a
his
modified
personal
Buick.
car. I know
Stallone
that.
owned it.
Yeah, it was Stallone's personal vehicle. Right.
He still has it.
It's beautiful.
It's a great car.
I do have to say, of all the really tall people in this movie, he is the shortest guy in this movie.
Gosh, dude.
Yeah.
The second he gets out and he gets out of this car and goes into the supermarket, you're like, he is so tiny.
He's like shorter than the Fritos advertisement.
He's just everything. He's just a tiny guy.
He's
he's 5
boys,
like
just to get in that
5'5",
car.
200 pounds. That maybe like
5'8", not
170.
5'5". He's 5'8". He's a little
Really?
short. Yes,
Is he really 5'8"?
I'm pretty sure he's 5'8". I'm not going to go and search the
not that
internet because it's
short.
going to grind the show to a halt.
Oh.
But he's pretty short. Regardless, you're right. He's very short.
Yeah, it's just funny to me.
and he looks teeny.
Yeah.
So Sly gets up there. He's got your freaking sunglasses on that you guys were rocking.
I was wearing them, but I have to see.
He went with a matchstick in his mouth. I almost feel like Sly spent 3 days in front of a mirror trying out different things sticking out of his mouth to see what was going to look the coolest.
We were never issued matchstick.
It should have been a joint. Should have been a not. It should have been
so
an.
clever.
It wasn't a department issued matchstick.
That is so clever.
It came in handy.
I mean, it did.
It did at one point.
It
Finally,
did.
I was like, if they go
It
this
really
whole
did,
movie
yeah.
and don't
Yeah.
use the matchstick, it's going to
Man,
be
that
really
was-
upsetting.
Yeah.
All right. So, but right before he goes in, we get a little. So Monty, I don't know if what his rank is in this movie. I mean, he seems to be
He's a
one of the
detective.
bosses. He's a detective.
No, he's just a detective.
Okay. So Monty, who was the guy that played the killer famously in the first Dirty Harry movie.
Yes.
Okay. Psychopath with
Andrew Robinson.
with the nose bandage, right? Comes up and he says a Cobra, right? Just so you know, before you go in, you suck at everything you do, and I hate your guts.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck.
We need to establish the fact that we don't like each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I love it when they force tension between characters in these
Company
movies.
man.
Like, don't even do any backstory or nothing like that. Just,
No.
I hate you.
I hate you. You suck at your job.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I didn't want to call you,
Nope.
Jay. Just so you know, I'd rather
We
anyone
took a
else
vote,
but you.
and I was the one in the back not holding my hand up.
That's right. Just so you know, I hate your guts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your lemon squares suck.
With your stupid sunglasses. Why are you wearing sunglasses into a dark grocery store?
Yeah. It's pointless.
He walks in there, all the lights are off, and
Rick Springfield.
he's got the freaking sunglasses on.
Yeah. He walks
like,
in, he
fan.
can't see anything. I'm like, how is he not tripping over? If I was doing it, I'd be like,
Bob would be tripping over everything.
You know what the best part too
What?
is that he just knows his way around this grocery store. This random grocery store in LA.
he's so smooth.
and he's
at
all of a
it.
sudden just like, "Oh, I know." Like,
He's even able to do a Coors beer. He's like,
yeah. I'll tell you this. I go to the same grocery store and I still forget where the frickin' produce is.
It's a very tactically laid out grocery store.
you ever go to like
Yeah.
grocery store and they changed everything within like 2 days?
And they just did that at festival.
Yeah.
Man.
First world problems.
I was looking for bread for 10 minutes the other day.
I never would have thought to throw beer down on the ground and get their attention.
No.
Never.
No.
Right?
No.
Never. That was pretty clever as well.
That was good.
Tactically sound,
Unless
right?
unless those glasses were bulletproof, there's no reason to wear them into this store to go after this guy. other than he really wants this killer to think he's the coolest cop of all
That's
time.
exactly what.
or he has cataracts.
Or his
What if there's
fluorescents really bother him.
What if there's those glasses that help you with color blindness?
That's what they are. They're called.
Should have just made him a blind cop.
That's right.
He's just using his stick.
So he goes in. The guy tries to shoot him a couple times, but Sly ducks away. He comes around the right side, then he
And
comes
they're,
around
like,
the left.
this close to each
he comes
other.
around the back.
And they're shooting at each other.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
He grabs the PA system. He's like, "Hey, you can't even hit me. You're a lousy shot. I hate lousy shots." What kind of an insult is that? Hey, why don't you kill me next time, you loser?
Yeah.
I hate when people don't shoot me.
Yeah.
Why don't you freaking kill me? You want me to respect you as a bad guy?
What's the line? Come on,
Kill
Bob.
me.
What's the
line is?
You're a lousy shot.
Hey, dirtbag, you're a lousy shot.
Hey, hey,
wasted that
dirtbag, you're a
kid.
lousy shot.
One of my
Grab me
favorite
the
lines.
Doritos in aisle 6.
Yeah.
You wasted that kid for nothing, and now it's time to waste you.
Ah, that's right. That was the crowning moment of it. Yeah. that was
You wasted that kid.
the- Yep.
The best line in the movie to me is when Marco Rodriguez says something. He goes, "Go ahead, I don't shop here."
That's what's next. Yeah. So,
Oh
so,
yeah.
I don't know what Marco Rodriguez said.
Well, I'll tell you. So we come in. I'll set it back up so you can do it again.
Yeah.
So after this, he busts in from behind the guy, like through the cooler. I don't know. Don't ask me how he knew how to get through the cooler to right behind him. Again, he knows the whole layout of the.
It's a tactically
He was
laid out
studying a map
perfectly.
in his car as he's driving over there
have
of
to.
a
You have
blueprint of the grocery
Yeah.
store.
Right.
He was sitting in his apartment
That's right.
taking notes. He's got it all laid out.
He's got every grocery store on the wall.
Every grocery store in Los Angeles
gonna go here.
got blueprints.
So he busts in behind him, and Marco Rodriguez has got a gun and a pile of hostages and a pipe bomb or something in his other hand. He's like, hey man, I'll blow this place to pieces. I got a bomb, man. Then the best line ever.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't shop here.
Yeah. if I were the hostages, I'd be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're screwed, guys.
Really instilling hope in the people that
We're
are
done.
sitting there.
Come on.
What would Stallone have done if that was where he shopped? It would have been even worse.
I mean, come on. He had to be lying. He clearly knew where everything was.
He had to be lying.
He goes there
it was
every
a
other
bluff.
day. It was a bluff. That had to be a bluff.
He really
It's 2
did
for
want
5.
to.
had to be a
He's got
bluff.
like 2 for 5 on bullets there, probably.
Yeah.
So how does he get him? So he goes, all right, relax, man. You want to talk? I'm a sucker for great conversation. He drops his gun.
Or something.
Or puts it away. Puts it away.
Puts it back by his penis.
Pulls out his ass knife because he's got his penis gun in front, and he, it's true.
No,
He's holding this knife behind his back.
Tactical ass knife.
Tactical ass
so
knife.
here's
Did
how
they
you-
give us sheaths?
That's standard issue
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Right.
issue.
And so if you had
Not the
to,
matchstick.
so
The
Rachel, if
sheet
you had to,
between the cheeks.
if you had to take down a bad guy that is pointing a shotgun at hostages, you'd go knife to chest. Like he does,
Right.
Then tell him to drop his gun, and then when he wasn't complying because he was too busy getting knifed in the chest, you'd shoot him, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like the use of force continuum to me.
Oh, I love it. That's so awesome.
That's what he does. He throws a knife
Like it.
directly into his sternum, and then the guy's like, "Ugh," he's dying. Drop the gun. Oh, he didn't. I told him to drop it. I told.
That's right.
Look,
I
that's
told
actually
him-
that's what it is. You put that in a report. I told him to drop it. I verbally directed the subject
I
to
did not
drop
say
his
when. I just
gun.
said I told him.
That's right.
He then was non-compliant, so
right.
therefore I used deadly force.
Right.
See?
First.
I mean,
It's not going to happen again.
Bob would have thrown the gun and then shot the knife. That's
Yeah, I would actually have shot the bomb in his hand and just nuked the hole.
yeah. Shot the bomb in the
Because you don't shop
Just
there.
so I had like the black smoke all over
so
my face.
it's like Keanu Reeves. What do you do? Pop quiz, man. He's like, you shoot the bomb.
That shot.
Shoot the bomb. I shoot the bomb.
Shoot the bomb.
I don't shop here.
Hey, trope alert too.
That's right. Oh, really?
This dude has a Remington 870, which can hold 5 in the chamber.
Oh, he cocks it like 12 times.
And yes, every time.
Yeah, you're right. He definitely went to the Principal Strickland School of shotgun cocking.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, I was paying attention to that because
Yeah.
after that one episode, I was like, I have to pay attention to every shotgun cocking.
That was
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe. For
Yeah.
those of you that don't know, go back and listen to Masters of the
Detective
Universe.
Lubrick and his shotgun sorcery.
They did add the sound effect of the shell going on the ground.
They did
True.
at least do that.
So there is a discharge
Hey.
of a shell. So that is,
He's
You
just
know.
racking unspent rounds. Under the ground.
You know, I'll tell
Still
you.
hanging out up
I got 54.
They just haven't come down yet.
Well, what you're saying, if it wasn't for the Foley editor, then this movie would have been trash.
That's right.
Yeah, give it to the, yep.
Yeah.
That's
All
my
right,
choice
so-
for,
Sly
mind.
Waste. Sly Waste. The guy he casually walks outside. The police have allowed the press through their perimeter because they mob him at the he's still walking out of a crime scene
With the victims.
with the victim.
Yeah.
The press are all over him about victim rights and the criminal. You know, how could you waste this guy?
perpetrator, yeah.
Rights.
Perpetrator
To
rights.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I just answered a call at the grocery store, and I'm coming out, and everybody's just coming up to me. What? Oh, it was tough.
I got like a press
made out with
conference.
an orange, and
Like after a football game or something. Well, we just gave it 100% in there.
Right.
Just we knew that if we just played our game, we'd come out on top.
Right.
And yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Total quarterback move. Right.
All right, we got to keep this thing rolling. So after he deals with the press,
The very subtle Sylvester Stallone social commentary of what's this movie going to be about?
Right.
Because this sets the stage for the rest of the movie.
Laws are stupid. I get things done now.
he says, you think this guy should have
Right?
rights?
Yeah.
Ask this guy's family, and he shows the dead body. Of
Yeah,
the kid that got
the dead
shot,
kid or whatever, right?
Showing the sheets.
Yeah.
That shows the press.
Yep.
All right.
That'll shut him up.
That'll convince him.
So
I would have done better, man. I would have rubbed that reporter's face in the guy's wound.
like a dog that crapped in the carpet.
You like that?
You see what happened?
Apples.
Yeah.
How do you like them apples?
Just grab him by the head
wound looks
and
like.
just shove him into the gaping shotgun wound on the kid.
hole,
Yeah,
smear it.
that would have been
He
great.
knows what he did.
All right.
Okay.
He knows.
All right, so we go back to Cobra's house, and there's one little bit that doesn't really pay off because you should go back to it 3 times, but they don't. They'll go back to it once. He has this like dispute over a parking spot outside his apartment.
Yeah.
With these like
Hispanic gentlemen.
Hispanic gentlemen,
in an old Impala, hanging out.
Sure.
He just uses his car to push them out of the way.
Yeah.
They seem like they're mad. He rips his tank top off, but then they one more time later on the movie, he pulls up and it's like super nice about it, but never showed anything to would necessitate that flip in his character or anything. So it's kind of weird.
Oh,
You don't rip a man's tank top.
No.
you just
don't
don't.
do
it.
You just don't.
Did you?
You don't.
This is weird. I don't know if I noticed it or something like that.
Sure.
But it looked like you could see the mic.
He was
Yeah,
wearing
he
a
was
wire.
He was mic'd up.
Yeah.
He was wearing a wire.
Yeah.
That's why he was so nice afterwards. He realized he was an undercover cop.
Or just or he was part like a internal affairs plant.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, he's trying to goad him into violating his civil rights.
Oh, okay.
Quote unquote violating his civil rights.
Either way,
But
we got to get to Cobra's apartment because it's one of the
dude,
funniest scenes of all time.
Hashtag release the sly cut. We might know more about the
might know
Hispanic
more.
guys.
Yeah.
He gets up to his apartment. Joe, how would you describe what happens here?
Okay. Again, one of those like tiny things that I notice because I'm stupid like that. So he gets up to his nice apartment, right? It's in the middle of the day. He's wearing his sunglasses, dark as shit. And he opens up the door, and if you pay attention very closely, you look inside, he's got these huge windows, this big greenhouse-looking apartment, right? And then he flips the light switch on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then proceeds
Well, he
to
is
get...
wearing sunglasses.
I know. It's too bright in there. Yeah, and then he proceeds to get the pizza box and the egg carton
right.
out of the refrigerator. Sit down, puts on with his sunglasses still on, his gloves still on.
He's cleaning his gun with his sunglasses on.
Yep.
Is that another trope?
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
it's got to be.
We're gonna make it a trope now.
I mean,
And what the
Watching
hell?
Christmas carols,
Buy a pizza cutter.
and then he cuts pizza with a scissors.
come on.
What psycho cuts a piece of pizza with a set of scissors?
Why would it just? Oh, I gotta watch my macros and carbs here. Take scissors.
I only
and
want
cuts the-
this much.
There's a small
all I want.
triangle of pizza. Like, no, man, you should eat the whole thing. Consider it's only one piece. It's
I
only,
kept waiting to see why so he cut it, and I'm like, what's he? And then he just held it for a minute while he was doing all that stuff. I'm like,
What's he gonna
what's
do
he
with
gonna
it?
do with it?
Yeah, what's he
and
gonna
then
do
he
with
just
the other
eats
pizza?
it.
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Why?
And why do you keep your gun cleaning kit in an egg carton?
Yeah, I don't know.
in the fridge.
Is that good for the gun cleaning kits to keep the oil nice and
It's
solid?
the protein.
That's
in the-
right.
In the
In the
egg, yolk that.
Yeah.
We did have we did have the kid left at the bus stop.
I don't
Eric
know, I
Valov
have
wrote in for this
I'm reaching
episode.
at this point. I have no idea. I have no clue.
And-
We usually just kept ours.
We just look for you to answers, and
Yeah.
we're not expecting.
I don't
much,
have.
but,
I didn't. I
you know
never
what I'm
cleaned my
saying.
weapon. So
Eric,
That's
No,
another
I'm
thing.
joking.
Eric Valov did write in for this episode. He did want to say one thing. He said it's not a goof when he's cleaning his gun in that scene. That the 1911 used by Cobra is chambered to 9mm. It's a variant that was made specifically for the film.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's a gun aficionado that saw this might have been like, oh, they screwed up. But no, it was actually the way that they.
Instead of 45.
Yeah, that's actually the way they did it for the film.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I noticed him flicking the light switch on, but I didn't notice that.
He was a straight.
That's what my standards are.
Cobra used nothing but 9mm.
Let's catch up with the bad guys here. We got to set up the bad guys. We saw a little bit of the Axe cult happening before, but we get to this scene where there's
the Axe Union meeting.
They're just bad guys. They're good. We're good. Move on. No, they're bad guys. There's no backstory to them.
Well, no, but we have to at least explain what's happening with them.
They're bad.
Here's the backstory.
They're bad.
They're in a sewer somewhere clanging axes together, and they're like,
bad.
that's it. That's the
all
whole
we need to
backstory.
know.
And so we go to this diner. There's this lady who's getting out of the diner. She's a waitress or something. She's closing up shop, and she gets in her car. You're signed, so this must have really bothered you. What happened?
It's not it's an axe.
Basically, the serial killer
She gets in her car.
named the Night Slasher, who has the largest private army known to man.
This is Brian Thompson. Yeah.
In the underground Los Angeles area.
And so there's 4 or 5 dudes.
There was that news report of the Night Slasher.
That's while he was cleaning his
That's how it
gun.
doesn't make sense to me. He's like, you make a news report about you're building him as a serial killer, but then he has a private army full of axe wielding.
It's a whole cult. It looks
So okay,
Well,
so
they
that
thought it was just one
All right.
person, and
Right.
never mind.
all right. So then, just to preface the story, the plot of the movie, right?
Yeah.
So the police department, the media, and such think that there is a serial killer on the loose.
the night
serial
slasher.
killer, right?
Yeah.
Turns out it's a whole cult, as Robert has
It's a weird
said
Fight
for us
Club
here.
type thing.
It's a Fight Club, Axe Club, kill people club.
The Axe cult. So she gets into her car, and these 4 or 5 guys come around her, and they start beating.
Turn on the car, you dummy.
They start the car, lady.
Purposely sits in the car.
Yeah,
I'm a dumb idiot.
puts her hands up by her face.
Apparently, that's what we thought of females back
And
then.
screams.
Yeah.
And it's like she didn't have time because they took about 4 or 5 swings before they got into the car.
Oh my gosh!
Start
coulda-
the car.
Start the car and drive.
Start
Honestly.
driving.
That's it.
I tell you, that is one of the things you want to learn, moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Is when you're in a rough area, you don't fumble for your keys at the point. No, you have your keys ready to go
In your hand.
in your hand. So you're not sitting there trying to, like the whole trope of, the guys come and you're trying to get into the front door. Thank you. You're fumbling for your keys. No. This is you got
No. And then you can stab somebody with them if you need to.
Well, clearly she
There's a lot
hadn't
to
seen
learn
Cobra.
There's a lot to learn from this movie.
Yeah.
We go back to police headquarters.
I never heard anyone say I was fumbling for my keys as I was running. They had their keys out.
And,
right.
Yeah.
and then my high heel broke, my pump broke, and I had to limp to the car. And
That's right.
I didn't have powered locks, so I had to actually reach.
Does this guy have female issues? What's with the vagina stabbing?
Who did he?
What?
I didn't hear about
The
that.
first one, he stabbed her in the crotch.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's a psycho. I think they're just trying to do everything they can to paint him as a total psychopath.
Oh, okay. I was just
They did a
curious
great
about-
job.
And actually to kind of play into what you guys were saying, right here we cut back to police headquarters, and this is where Cobra is the first one. They kind of got the chief and the different detectives all in the office with Cobra, and Cobra is the first one to say, "Hey, maybe there's more than one," And then Monty's like, "It's an issue for police, not idiots. Once you get out of here, you moron. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life."
How dare you be smart? How dare you have a
zombie
brain?
This guy over here, this guy with multiple people and an idiot.
You got a real attitude, probably. You know
Not
that,
you,
Cobra.
Oh,
That's right.
That's later, but that's later. That's later, but yes. Yes. Every time he just never misses an opportunity to let him know.
God, did Cobra bend his wife over and bang her in front of him or something?
I don't know what happened.
There really is always one.
There is.
There is.
Who knows?
There is always one.
Hey,
There's a lot of tension there.
there's. I hate to spoil it for you guys. There's one asshole in this room right now.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, Joe, seriously, I just got here.
Well,
I mean, I literally just walked in.
I'm joking.
technically there's 5 assholes in the room.
Oh.
It cuts right back to another murder happen under an overpass. There's another lady that's pulled out of her car by the team of killers and is murdered. And at this point, we're introduced to Ingrid, who is played by Brigitte Nielsen, who will be the female star of the movie. And you're already laughing. What?
Because the whole time last night we were laughing about how short Stallone is and how tall she is.
And then just how random that photo
And-
shoot was.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're getting to that.
Was,
Yeah,
we're getting to that.
We're almost. Yeah.
But yeah, so she pulls up in her Jeep she sees the Night Stalker and the Night Slasher. Because Night Stalker was actually a real person in real life.
Exactly.
That was the camera guy.
Yeah.
The Night Stalker.
The Night Slasher.
taking her.
That's right.
Yeah,
Comes up. She sees him. I thought she witnesses the murder, but apparently she doesn't. Because later on, she tells the police, "This guy just scared me in the roadway or whatever, and I didn't know anybody was
I
actually."
don't know. I just saw his face, and he was really ugly.
That's right.
Poor guy.
She just pulls away, and so Nancy Stalk, who we should say is one of his little cronies, yells to him, "Get the license plate," before she pulls away, because they're going to track her down.
Nasty.
And so we'll get more on Nancy Stalk in a little bit here, but so
She has a very punchable face.
very punchable face.
Yeah.
And it turns out she's a cop.
Well, so there's the twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right after that we show her running the license plate.
Right. It's like cut to her in prim proper police uniform, hair actually looking good, not blown out.
So like at night she's a crazy axe murdering cultist.
Yes.
And during the day she's a police officer.
I was so surprised.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming at all.
Not a lot of cult
No.
members in the force.
No, I did not see
generally.
that coming
Okay.
at all.
Not a lot of that happening at all.
I guessed it, but I was skeptical.
Yeah.
So after this next lady gets killed, then it was pretty quick succession. There was the diner lady, overpass lady, then the cops. Again, we have that scene. We got to call the Cobra in again.
we got to figure this out.
I
guys.
wish we had a Cobra because
That you could
only
just call
because
in.
like think of the resources you could save.
Seriously.
I mean, if I'm a chief,
Yeah.
sheriff,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, money, right? Yeah. Or a higher salary for me, whatever.
Are we gonna get?
And
yeah. I'm sorry. Are we
one guy.
Are we gonna do any police work, or do we just call Cobra?
No, we just call Cobra.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Just call Cobra.
But like you said, hours of investigative work that you can save by just calling a guy who violates people's civil rights.
That's right. Perfect.
Well,
Let's go.
They're not all. Some of these rights can be violated.
I do not like that. Okay. Oh boy.
Some of these rights do deserve to be violated.
I got a random question, though.
Okay.
Police question. This is legit. Because I see this trope in tons of movies. Thank you.
Love it.
You're on top of the trope thing.
Well,
Appreciate it. Where you get a lot of like the main police force doesn't want to get the FBI involved, they don't want to
It's our
collaborate.
jurisdiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're always fighting. Is that a thing? Is that like something that happens more often, or is it just a movie?
No,
thing?
not like that's not that serious. They may not want to give the other as much information because they want to say that, hey, I was the one that got that.
Got it.
Gotcha.
That kind of stuff, but it's
Self-preservation.
not,
I feel like
right.
usually people
Little
would be
bit
like,
more
"No,
than-
you go ahead and
Right.
do the work." I'd be fine
Yeah,
with
just like
that.
everywhere else.
That'd be great.
Right.
That's a trope that even appears in Best Picture winners.
Yeah.
It's even the movie like The Departed. There's even like a scene where he's like, Detective Lynn or Detective Lynn PD, you're in my crime scene, and Matt Damon's like, actually, it's my crime scene, but knock yourself out. Like, it's like everywhere. The frickin'
Well, we just busted it.
jurisdictional war.
Right here.
That's
on
right.
BMR,
I'm sorry.
we busted that trope.
What are we going to do with The Departed? That falls under the bad movie thing. That movie was garbage.
Oh yeah, we want to do The Departed.
Yeah, that movie was trash.
All right, well, that's a conversation for another time.
That'll be on good movies that are good.
And because you wanted to get to this, Rachel, let's say this. Now, they say, okay, we got to call in the Cobra.
Montage.
And I'm like, now, we could show him tracking down leads and doing police work, but why would we do that when we could put a damn music video in the middle of our
Trevor,
movie?
baby.
Oh, you know it. Coming back from Rocky IV.
Robert Trepper. What was it, Angel or something?
But they made
Angel
that
Wings
decision
or something?
instead
Angel,
of showing.
I don't know.
Instead of showing the main character doing his job and doing the police work and
That's
let's
all
shoot
that
it.
stuff,
Boring.
they're like, no, let's do a music video with homeless people and robots, and we'll intercut two of them.
God.
All I thought was like, did Stallone have a robot fetish in the mid
Oh,
'80s?
that was a sex
I
bot
thought we were in a
commercial.
horrible Robert Palmer video.
'Cause that's all it
Video.
was.
That's what we were in.
Robert Trepper. Thank you.
It's like Rocky 4.5 happening all of a sudden.
Yeah, he did have
This is
that
the music
robot.
video that
Bridget?
didn't. This is the music video that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it was Tally Shear, Rocky IV dancing
right.
to robots?
You guys are too close. You're getting blown out. You got to back up a little bit.
He's got
Okay.
Getting excited.
Brigitte Nielsen, robots, and Robert Traeger.
Robert Trepper.
Robert Trepper. Yeah, and Robert Trepper. It's like, it's just, here we go.
That's great.
We were going to do this for Rocky IV, but they said no, so let's do it now.
This was a
Yeah.
deleted scene.
And
from
at
Rocky
first you don't, because you don't know, they don't give you any context. For the first 30 seconds of this montage or music video, you're like, what the frick is happening? Because you don't know she's in a photo shoot. They're setting up that Ingrid is a model.
Right.
She's doing this photo shoot.
She's the model in Los Angeles,
exactly.
struggling to break through.
I think she broke through just fine.
But because they don't show you right
she was
away,
married to him.
it just comes off as totally random. Homeless people, robots, hookers, more robots.
I was like, what do I
Tattoo
do?
artist.
Where do I go?
And-
what?
Brian Thompson sweating.
What do I address first?
And
Stallone walking around with his frickin' gun just right there by his penis. No holster.
What was I saying the entire time
No
last night?
nothing.
How is it not shot off yet?
Every time I saw that, I'm like, that's the worst idea. Like
His
I would-
gun?
How his, his,
Oh, his gun not shut off.
Just
okay.
his-
yeah.
I mean,
okay,
how-
got off. Okay.
Cobra, his ivory handled
How did that not
Cobra, just
why isn't his Cobra gone? That's what. I'm
right,
saying. Yeah.
right.
Exactly. So so after this, we're assuming he's tracking down leads, whatever. Ingrid finishes up her photo shoot,
Yeah.
and the photographer Dan,
What was his line?
dude, I know I'd be crazy not to want to sleep with you, right? So at least he's up front with the
Man,
fact that
I'll
he's
tell
like,
ya.
I'll help your career, but we got to bang. Is
Yeah.
basically what he's
Hey,
saying.
this is 30 years previous to hashtag Me Too.
Yeah.
Well, it's so 80s, dude.
Yeah.
And I love the fact, and so this is another thing that Eric called out for us when he wrote in, but this was the dude from Sledgehammer. You guys ever watch that show, Sledgehammer?
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved that
I was
show.
trying to figure out where. I'm looking
this
at this
is the
guy. I'm like,
Sledgehammer guy.
I know this guy from somewhere.
Was the photographer that wanted to get with Brigitte Nielsen. And so this scene plays out in the most asinine way possible. He's walking her to the car the whole time trying to explain to her.
Propositioning her, just trying to, like.
Right, but not even in a sleazy way, almost like a business deal. Like
Oh, it
just
was.
trying to
It was
explain to
very
her.
much a business. He's like, it's okay.
Look, if you
we don't have
sleep
to be in love. We just have to bang.
And then I can
Yeah.
help your career. It's really kind of cut and
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah.
I scratch my back. Wait.
And you scratch my back.
Exactly.
I don't see what.
That's screwed up.
Wow.
Well, but it
I don't
worked.
see why she
Yeah.
should fall for
I'll
it.
scratch
That's
your
right.
back from behind.
Yeah.
So while this is happening, the night slasher and his cronies show up out of nowhere to attack these two in the parking garage. And initially, Dan gets hacked to pieces.
Which I wasn't very upset about.
No one
No.
cared about Dan
No,
getting hacked to
no.
pieces.
It was great to watch.
But
I
what
wish
I
it was more
did
graphic.
care about, I cared about random extra right after Dan walking through the parking garage.
guy.
Man, I was
Just-
so sad for that guy.
He had looked like he had some flowers and a present.
Yeah, and a
for
bottle of
somebody.
champagne.
And a bottle of
You know, like a
champagne.
bottle of champagne and a present. Like he was
Yeah.
going to propose to his girlfriend or something.
He got slashed.
It caught me so off
dead.
guard
Yep.
that they didn't set him up at all. They just like all of a sudden here he is right as he's catching an axe to the throat.
They didn't need to. They set him up perfectly just with that.
He needs what I thought about doing here, guys, today together. Is I wanted to do justice for. I don't care about Dan, the sleazy photographer.
Justice for
We got to
that
do
guy?
justice for this guy.
Yeah.
The movie didn't tell us anything about him. Maybe it's in the slide cut.
Yeah,
But we have
maybe.
to give this guy a backstory.
All right.
Okay.
Justice for grocery aisle guy.
Well, because grocery aisle guy, we had more, setup than this guy. He literally appeared on screen as he's getting killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
know who
true.
he was bringing the chocolates and the flowers and the champagne to.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Was he a fan waiting outside the photo shoot and he was finally coming up to Brigitte to shoot his shot?
No,
Right?
no,
and
no.
propose
He was
to
a
her?
stalker.
I like that story.
Okay.
I like that story.
Maybe he had just finally decided, you know what? I'm going to recommit myself to my wife, and he was going to go home that night and tell
Yeah.
her that he was sorry and that he loved her and give her these things.
What if he was a singing telegram, just
What-
delivering all this?
What
stuff?
if he was
that's-
sent to give it to Dan? What if
Yeah.
it was Dan's boyfriend? We don't know anything about this.
Wow. That would be cutting edge if he was
That's what I'm
Dan's
saying.
boyfriend. And Dan was maybe having some confusion.
Right.
And now he's here to finally say, Dan,
Stop lying to yourself.
stop lying to yourself. I miss you.
Here are your flowers.
Yeah.
But the night flasher, that's a different villain. The night slasher.
Night flasher.
Axe to your chest.
That's an observe and report.
Let's talk about the security guard, the super effective security guard
Oh,
that was
that
in
guy
the
was
elevator.
a dumbass.
He tried. He tried.
He didn't try anything. He stood right in. Yeah, I'm gonna stand right here. Here we go, buddy. I got you now, you sons of bitches. And he's shooting. Up, the car's coming at me. The car's coming at me. The car's coming at me. Boom!
Get back in the elevator.
Just took him down. Just took him back in the elevator.
All right, so to give context to what Bob, if you haven't seen the movie, you wouldn't
man.
know what he was just talking about. But the security guard comes out of the elevator as Brigitte is running up. It was funny is she was trying to do an American accent in the movie, and every time she had to scream is when she would lose it. Like she couldn't scream in American, and so she runs over, and her natural Danish was just like, "They're trying to kill me!"
Yeah.
The security guard pulls his gun out, and the van is coming barreling straight at the elevator.
Well, it was kind of funny because the guy was like, "Kill her."
That's right.
But then they kill
They kill him.
They kill him instead.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was a cool stunt. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it was just like no one stands there for that long
While the van is coming
at you. Unless
Is
you're
that
told to
once
do it.
again? That's another cinematic trope.
That's right.
Or is that? I mean, did you learn that when you did your tactical training?
Hold your ground against vans.
You do.
Hold your ground. Yeah.
You do.
Do not move.
Right. If there's a van
blink.
coming at you,
Don't show weakness.
look, just
Show
keep
weakness.
just keep
I
shooting.
have been fortunate that I have not had to come across one.
Right.
A van.
It's either that or play dead. That's
Right.
van. Then the van gets confused. It doesn't know
Yes.
what to do, and then it backs away and leaves.
Yes.
Well, you know, if you're
Yes.
Cobra, you just keep shooting until the van blows up. Yeah.
Oh, it's true too.
Yeah.
All right.
Make
So
eye contact with the van.
Brigitte Nielsen hides in a crevasse somewhere within this parking garage, and they're
Sure.
unable to find her.
I've never been to a crime in a parking garage. I would just like to.
No?
No, I've
Really?
just. I've
Lots
never
of
responded
crimes
to-
happen in parking garages.
I'll
never,
tell you.
I have never been to one.
It's one of my favorite cinematic locations for action
it
scenes.
parking garage?
I love parking garage action scenes.
That's right.
I really do.
Think about the T1000 coming out, chasing
Yep.
after John Connor on the dirt bike. in
Yep,
the parking
or
garage.
I'm kind of glad I didn't have to do that because
The first appearance of
drive
Batman in the
normally.
Dark Knight.
That's right.
with
correct,
Scarecrow cameo?
correctly in a
I'm not
parking
wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine doing it at high speed.
All right.
That would be difficult.
It would be very difficult.
Oh my god.
So Cobra and his partner / handler Gonzalez go to the hospital to interrogate Ingrid to find out what she knows. She's the first live witness that's seen the face of the Night Slasher, right?
Well, I mean, do they know? Do they know that it's the Night Slasher?
Well, they're making a lot of assumptions that it is.
I mean, yeah. They're just
Right.
like,
Well,
oh, it
no-
must have been the Night Slasher.
No, they were there just to
Oh, no, you're
interview
right.
her just because.
It wasn't until she said,
Until she said that, well, you know, I did see this one weird thing under this overpass at about 10 o'clock.
that's when they put it
and
together.
they went, you
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
could
right.
literally
That's right.
see
That's right.
Stallone. You're like,
right.
Like, whoa.
it gets it.
They're interrogating her, and meanwhile, Lady Cop, who is a part of the Axe cult, is just like lurking outside the window, staring between the blinds.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, exactly. She's like hiding, right? And I just wanted a line from one of them, Gonzalez or Cobra, just go, you think there's somebody on the inside? And they're like, no, why do you think that? Cut to she's staring right through the window.
Could have been like that cut where like, like she dips out and the blinds go back up.
Because this cop is just staring at us through the
Right.
window.
And she's checking in on home from the phone booth.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bob, I knew you'd love this.
What's up?
It cuts from the interrogation to
Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson doing what?
Sharpening
Sharpening the knife
the wrong way.
intensely
The wrong
in a
way.
day.
The wrong way.
Thank you.
In a Dago tea.
Say what? Bob loves a good knife sharpening scene. It's his
Get
favorite.
in there. Right there.
He's
I'm not doing it right. You
sweating
gotta take off your
his
shirt. Hold on. You gotta
butt off.
You
You don't have to take your shirt.
take off your shirt.
Oh, boy.
It's almost there.
Yeah, he's got veins popping on his
some water. We got some water. Splash some water on him.
Hey, there was
so
a lot of fire in that sewer.
There's
all
a lot
right?
of sweating.
And not only would that happen, the ugly cop comes in and it's just like,
What is happening?
That's exactly what
sharpening,
happened.
gnawing on his muscles. Let
Yeah.
me do it for you.
Yeah, Stalk comes in. The girl, she's like, "Let me get them for you. Let me do it. Let me handle it. I know where they are." He's explain it. He's just freaking yacked out of his mind. This guy.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I got another thing I just want to bring up. What kind of qualifications do you think this guy had to organize this whole cult?
This whole
That's
axe
what
cult.
I didn't understand. Like, how does
he's
this
usually
dummy...
Yeah.
You think dyeing your hair is gonna change your effed up face?
No. Yes.
I think
Yeah,
it's something
cheek
with
and
the
jaw
face.
structure is
No,
really messed up.
I was gonna say though, you think about people that organize cults.
if I put black hair on.
What's that, Ryan?
You think about people who organize cults though.
Yes.
They're
they
very-
have very defined.
yeah.
Yes, but they're very
Facial features?
charismatic. They know how to talk. They're usually it's somewhat attractive. You know, there's a lot of things in
Right.
a person be able to pull off
kinda-
being a leader of a cult.
In
Yeah.
a way, though, this guy is kind of
what
like
this guy did.
he's kind of a precursor to like David Koresh. Really.
And
Possibly.
Why axes?
him?
And why is it an axe cult? They're only allowed to wield axes. Through the whole movie, every time you see them, they've got axes, double-headed axes.
Except for the bike.
Except for the guy.
You know, I was gonna say,
the
I guess
bikers. But like other than that,
I was thinking
the
that.
knife that the night slasher uses, he's got this
Yeah.
distinct knife that he kills people with that we didn't talk about. But
Oh yeah, it was designed
the whole
That
thing
was a
is kind
special design.
special design for
super
the film.
weird.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's sharpening the blade the wrong way.
I should say this to Eric Valov, who is, constantly at odds with Bob and all of the mailbags. The kid left at the bus stop. Did write in and talk about the knife scene specifically. He said, I imagine this is how Bob sees himself during his special me time. So,
That's a good one.
Bob, do the same thing you did. Just put your hands underneath the table. Now do the
don't do
same
that.
thing.
No, we're going to move on.
Do the knife sharpening thing.
No, gross.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
All right, so Cobra goes to his house and he's feverishly poring over mugshots in his house, and he's working so hard. And how do we know he's working so hard? Because after 27 shots of him flipping through mugshots, he gives us one of these. Whew, I got to wipe my brow off because I'm working so hard.
I thought it was just the music. That was the music montage.
Because there was the song that's really like working so hard.
Exactly.
to
I thought
make
it was
some
the music
money.
that really sold it for me.
What is the song?
That's pretty much exactly what it is.
Working so hard to make some money.
Meanwhile, while he's back at his house pouring through mugshots, which he has all the mugshots at his house.
Dude, on his supercomputer.
On his supercomputer.
From the 80s.
The night slasher goes to the hospital. Okay, and the cops have been called off. Like, there was all these cops guarding the room, and they got called off because, again, one of the girls is a cop.
Evidently, there was
slasher.
3 of them. So there was 3 for the
Yes.
hospital guard, and 2 of them get called off.
And so Gonzalez calls Cobra from Cobra's office. He goes, "Hey, I'm here. I'm at your office. Why'd you want me here?" And he's like, "Get back to the hospital. I didn't want you to, get back there. And I didn't call, whatever."
Yeah.
Now, we'll cut back to what happens in the hospital here in a second, but right at that point, 2 dudes are outside of Sly's apartment with axes, and these poor guys.
Yeah.
These poor guys.
They approached from the giant neon Pepsi sign.
They
Yes.
tried.
Yes.
They tried.
I know, but these poor guys have to wield these axes. At this point, I would think afterwards, one of them would, "Can we be the gun cult?" Because I like,
It'd be so much easier.
It'd be so much
This
easier.
takes up so much energy.
It takes so long to swing these freaking axes, and Stallone just annihilates these 2 guys in about 4 seconds.
But you guys
Literally,
realize
yeah.
these guys are probably jacked because all they do is stand around and click
Clang
their
these
axes
axes.
over their heads. Their traps and
Dude,
shoulders.
they're
must be
traps
just-
and lats.
That's all they do.
man.
They swap out at 4 o'clock. Every day, like, I got an 8-hour shift of axe clanging.
That's probably a CrossFit workout, I
swap
guarantee you.
Dude, it should be.
No, I
No, it's
guarantee you
the cross
some
axe workout.
workout instructor
That's a pun.
watched
That's a-
Cobra
I
and
know.
said, "That's
That's a pun.
perfect. We're
Careful
doing
with
this."
puns around here.
Careful. I'm
But here's
sorry.
the thing.
Sorry.
Drives me crazy about these movies, and is no one learns this lesson. No one. If you're going to take out Stallone, send all of your guys, not 2. Send all of your guys.
That also clearly doesn't work.
Exactly. It doesn't work either.
Okay, but anytime,
But we'll get to that.
we got to take out Cobra. How many people should we send? 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Why didn't they just send the one guy with the sniper rifle?
Or send sniper guy.
There was one sniper guy in the movie.
Yeah.
You're right.
Who's the only guy in the axe cult who's allegedly
Gets to have a gun.
allowed to
sniper
have
rifle, yeah.
a sniper rifle.
Okay, so you guys all got to use these axes, but who
Billy,
gets-
Billy over here, he's really good. He's a
He's
good
a
marksman.
crack shot.
So we're
That
gonna,
guy's a crack shot.
gets exempt
Right.
from the
Right.
axe.
that was on the day they decided to be an axe cult. Not
They
a-
were just like, hey, he lives by the giant neon Pepsi sign. Go across the street to the parking garage.
He was grandfathered in. he was one of the founding members of the Axe Club.
I'm not giving up my rifle.
Like, dude, I'm this is my thing.
I bought this just for this. I already paid for it.
I already bought this rifle, guys. Like,
I thought we were going to be the rifle gang.
wait a minute, guys.
I was voted out, and but I'm not going to give this up.
More than 2. people.
He just happens to be Night Slasher's best friend. He's like, all right, well, you're exempt.
All right, man. All right, so back to the hospital. The Night Slasher has infiltrated the hospital. He kills the janitor, an old lady, and a nurse within the span
he's
of
Michael Myers. So he's basically Michael Myers.
Actually, yeah, that's once again. I'm just like, okay, well, this is Halloween 2. Now we're watching Halloween 2.
There's a whole. I know we keep getting. I know James, you're trying to plow ahead, but we keep hitting points here. But I know that I was doing a little bit of backup on this, and a lot of the scenes that were cut were a lot of gore.
Oh yeah,
they went into great detail supposedly on like all the murders from these axe guys.
Yeah, because it's pretty tame.
Yeah, I almost think it was almost geared to be a horror movie with a cop rather than being a cop movie that had some dismembering too.
I don't know how, because we'd have to know what it's based off a book.
Sly cut.
Right?
Release the Sly cut.
Was it the book called Fair Game or
Fair
something?
Game, that's what it is. So I'd be curious to see what the tone of that book is like.
Well, I'm sure the
Not
author
at all
I'm sure the
like
author
the
hates
movie.
Stallone.
Yeah.
Like all the authors that Stallone does work,
Yeah.
they all
Maybe
hate
y'all
him.
should have a book club as well.
Ooh,
No.
bad books, bad
No.
books rule.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
reading books. What do you think? I'm some kind of
Do you want some?
smart person?
Do you just want like a
zombie
quick
squad.
fact, like a quick fact
Yeah,
drop?
but
Or what? I mean,
I'm not in a rush. I'm just
as Joe was
once I feel like we're done, I move to the next scene. Yeah.
sure, as Joe was talking, so the movie actually was rated X
Yeah.
when it first went to MPAA. Okay,
X.
it was rated X.
Not triple X. Remember when they rated movies with X?
Oh, I was gonna say, what was Sly and Gonzalez?
Ooh,
Sorry.
You talking about gangbanging?
Italian
No.
Stallion.
it was. I mean, that is from adult film.
I know.
But
Okay.
anywho, so Cobra was rated X. This was before NC-17.
Got it.
They said, well, you got to cut out a lot of that violence. So if some of the stuff seems patchy, it's because it was extremely violent.
Yeah.
And obviously we're in the 80s with before all the, additional CGI blood and stuff was really readily available in movies. It was just kind of like, well, I guess we just got to cut 5 frames off of this,
Right.
7 frames off. And so if it looks patchy, that's one of the reasons.
At least the CGI blood looks a lot better now. There's a period of time from like 2008 to like 2014 where it still kind of looked like you could clearly tell it was CGI.
Oh, you mean like in that other Stallone movie, Rambo?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that was
exactly.
great. That was good stuff.
In Rambo 4?
Rambo 4.
That was great.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Great movie, but yeah, a lot of CGI blood.
The CGI blood was terrible in that
For
movie.
sure, for sure. So yeah, so he kills the janitor to look like the janitor. Then the nurse is like, hey, the janitor's down here too late. He sneaks into some old lady's room, kills the old lady, reaches from under the bed. You're right, Michael Myers style.
Just all Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Just pulls her down by her face.
Michael Myers in a fight club with
She was a very hot nurse.
also with Shining. You know.
She was a very good looking nurse. You can tell.
I think
that wasn't her
Menahem
first
Golan probably lined him up in his office and
Absolutely.
was like, this one.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, the one cop that's supposed to be guarding hospitals up there at the desk, like, hey, shit.
Oh my God.
I'm just here.
Gabagool.
I'm just here in hospital watch, but
I thought that's where you're supposed to.
I got needs.
That's not where you stand.
it-
You don't stand there.
I'll tell you another trope there, James.
Yeah.
In movies, hospital guard is basically a death sentence,
Oh, is it?
It's true.
whereas in real life, hospital guard is like the easiest overtime you can get.
Oh, well, I guess that's true. They all do kind of get killed, don't they?
Like I don't know about you, but like I know cops that just love hospital guard.
we need
yeah,
to change that. We need to make an action movie called Hospital Guard.
Yeah.
Unless you have the night. I don't know if
Nothing
you have the night
happens.
shift. It could get
They're literally like everyone I know who's in police and all police work and all. They're like, yeah, I'll do 8 hours on patrol and I'll do 8 hours hospital guard, and that's like, psh,
There you go.
gravy. But no, not in the movies.
So he,
We should have been keeping track of all the tropes. Kick myself for not. We have the
you have a
technology.
counter. It's
Yeah.
all right. So he goes.
Let's start
I think we're like at 7, dude. Yeah. There we go.
Wow.
One more. One more.
Does that say 6?
I can see in the
Six.
reflection.
One more.
Yeah, not yet.
All
Sorry.
right. We'll just assume it was 7.
Yeah, I think that's about what it was. All right, so he finally gets, after he's murdered everybody he finally sneaks into Ingrid's hospital room. I almost said hotel. Okay.
But she appears to have a wet dream of some kind.
And-
She's not sleeping nicely.
She was not sleeping well. No.
He goes over to her bed. He goes, pretty hair, and stabs an empty bed. With she wasn't even trying.
He opens the thing and then stabs the bed.
Right.
Like,
An empty bed.
okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't. There wasn't a mannequin under. Like it's not like she was trying to dupe him. She was literally just taking a crap in the bathroom.
Because I believe he pauses when he opens
Yeah.
the sheet and he goes,
Pretty hair.
Pretty hair. Oh, it's empty.
What is this?
What is this?
She comes right at that point. She comes out of the bathroom. Is like, oh crap! Goes back in the bathroom.
And the other bathroom is guarded by a janitor car.
It's one of those shared bathrooms where there's a
the
hospital.
janitor
Who put
car.
that there?
There's a hospital room on both sides of this bathroom. So she's got 2 doors she can go out of, but she can't go out one because there's a serial murderer in the room.
Yeah.
She can't go out of the other one because it's blocked by an air tank and a cart and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
Random
medical
car
cart.
wheels.
blocking the door.
Right.
God, you got it.
Yeah, it looked like a good shove would have easily taken care of what was
Yeah.
in front of that thing. But regardless, he starts coming through like the Shining style.
This is my
through
biggest.
the door.
This was my biggest problem for this movie.
What's that?
Brigitte Nielsen should have been whooping his ass.
She was terrible.
all over the hospital.
Yeah.
You
was-
like there's.
Listen, he put her in this movie because he was obsessed with her. Stallone was obsessed with her.
Yeah,
at
no,
the
I
time.
get that. But
He
it's
was
just
Married
like-
to her at the time.
Yeah, but he begged her to marry him. I mean, he left his other wife. He was infatuated with her.
Yeah.
Okay, like put her in the movie, put her in Rocky IV, put her in this right after that.
I had no idea the backstory about.
Okay,
Well, this
But here's the thing.
sounds like the photographer guy.
Yeah, it does.
it does.
Please, man, I swear to
does.
God.
It does.
I'm starting to think that
But
maybe
here's the thing,
Stallone
he
was the
didn't-
photography guy.
He didn't even care that she's horribly miscast in this role as Ingrid. Brigitte Nielsen never, ever would be believable as the damsel in distress.
No, she should be kicking.
And that's what she is this whole movie.
I mean, her entire Hollywood career is just a farce.
But
Because, like,
she-
even as Red, I mean,
She
even
made
as
4
Red-
movies. And then as soon as Stallone divorced her, it was
Yeah.
like he probably said to her, "You're never going to work in this
You're
town
never
again."
working this down again.
Because after that, look at her filmography. It goes Red Sonja, Rocky IV, this
Cobra.
Cobra, then Beverly Hills Cop 2. And then after that,
No. She had that.
and then she appears
she
in
had-
Creed 2.
She had that
20 years
reality
later.
show with
Bob,
Flavor
the Flavor Flav reality show.
Come on.
Flavor of Love?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Oh, man.
She was married to him.
They
Wasn't
got
she not?
married. They got married.
Wow.
Flavor Flav.
come on.
She likes short little dudes. I don't know what to tell you.
Whoa. That's funny.
What I'm saying is, I was like, why this is no.
She had a 4-movie career basically because everything else of that is just
She's awesome.
trash.
She actually, and it's funny, her last film, Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
she's awesome, man, and she actually is kicking it.
Right, but in
kicking
all
ass.
3 of those other movies, she's very much aggressive ass kicker. Even though in Rocky IV she didn't beat up anybody, but verbally, she
yeah,
was
no,
just
she
like-
she was like the
sparring.
the get stuff done manager.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah.
And then Red Sonja, she's fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep,
And then in
yep,
Beverly
yep.
Hills Cop 2, she's not a pushover either.
Yeah.
But here in this movie, she's the damsel in distress, and it doesn't make any sense at all.
no.
She doesn't do anything the entire movie. She runs away from Stalk, the cop, this woman cop that looks like
Right.
I could beat up in a fight.
Right. Yeah.
Well, she did have a shotgun, but we won't get into that.
We'll get to there.
Sorry to delay you, but yeah, I just wanted to point.
No,
that
it's
out.
not. Guys, stop worrying about it. Delays. We no longer we're roped into any kind of time slot, so we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Sorry.
We're good. We're good.
Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good.
So sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh, I love this part. So finally, she
Yeah.
pushes through. She escapes into the hallway.
Sorry.
Where it's
Sorry.
Super sorry. Sorry.
You guys, I just want to apologize if I had ever done anything out of line.
You got 3
I
different
feel
times you
horrible.
said sorry about the delay, so I had to say something. You guys, I don't want you to be scared to say something.
You're right.
Because you
You're
think
right.
it's going to be delayed.
I feel horrible
You're
though.
right.
I feel
I
horrible.
feel
I
bad.
really do. I
Sorry.
feel.
All right, can we
Feel
can I
horrible.
get this next point out? You got it all out of your system.
James is really excited for this.
you get it
for this
all out of your
moment.
system.
Are we done?
Are we done?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
That's it.
super.
Are we done?
It's
Yeah, we're sorry.
the Catholic guilt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, now we're done.
All right. So she pushes her way out of the bathroom and she escapes into the hallway. And the hallway is a freaking ghost town. She's falling into things.
Dude.
She screams, "Is anyone here?"
it looked
No-
like
She had
nothing.
to try so hard to trip over that thing too. Like you had to literally
Threw herself
go
into
She
it.
aimed for
out
it.
of your way
Yeah.
across the hallway
Yes.
just to trip over this silhouetted med cart. God.
She's screaming and there is nothing. She hits the fire alarm. 200 people come into the hallway.
That's what I when you were saying
Where was everybody? Where was everybody?
dude, when we were saying like, yeah, so basically at this point he's killed the entire floor. Yeah. except for her.
Right.
But evidently not, because you
No.
push a fire alarm and 200, it's like freaking anthill lets out.
Everyone's in their rooms watching Wheel of Fortune, and they hear this girl screaming for her life, and they're like, somebody else will take care of that. And then, there's a fire. Hold on, let me get out of bed.
It's
Get
true, though.
out there.
Hey, it's true.
I'm not saying it's unrealistic, but it's just hilarious to me that it was a ghost town.
Yeah.
Fire alarm, everyone and their mother.
It's happening. It's Las Vegas right now.
Dude, when I hear people scream for help, I'm just like, all right, well, someone will handle that.
Never
you-
If you hear a fire alarm,
never scream for
it's
help
like,
in
well,
Ryan's neighborhood.
I got to get out of here.
You're gonna. You could tell he worked in corrections. He would screams for help, and he's just like, somebody else will take care of
Someone
that.
else will take care of that.
like the fat
Where's the
cop in
fire
The Dark
alarm?
Knight. Hey, should you be out
Fire
there?
alarm I
It's
can
my
pull
day
somewhere.
off.
It's my day off. Yeah.
All right, so we cut back to police headquarters after the night slasher has been scared off by the fire alarm, and everybody came out and stuff, and we get the go ahead and pop another one. The captain chewing everybody out in the office scene that's in every cop movie that's ever been made.
The
Oh,
worst
please.
captain ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
He's the worst captain.
How often, as a cop, are people actually dragged in to say things like, well, this whole city's turned into a battlefield, it's a war zone, and what the hell are you guys doing on it? You're costing me a fortune and all this stuff. How often does that actually happen? I'm betting almost never.
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I
not
haven't
once.
seen it.
Not a one.
And how
Just
long
like I
were you a
haven't
police
seen
officer?
a shooting range directly across from the chief's office.
I missed that.
Yes.
I literally laughed.
I totally disagree.
Awesome.
I totally disagree with you, Chief.
Right.
And he walks across the hallway.
I'm going to show you.
It wasn't even a shooting gallery.
Right.
He just starts shooting the vending machine.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
And
forgot
Bob's
about that.
office is on the
I
other side of the
died.
drywall.
Poor Bob, the guy's office on the other side of that wall, just getting shredded. Guy's eating a donut or a sandwich his wife made him.
You could tell how many cop movies Stallone has been in because he's so chill when he's being yelled at by the superiors. He's like, "Is that it?
Is it?
All
All
right.
right.
All right. You got it.
Well,
you bet. I'm out of here. Like,
I'm going to go across the hall and shoot my gun.
He's clearly been yelled at in 19 different cop movies, so he doesn't even care anymore. He goes across and shoots. You got an attitude problem, man.
It's a very small one.
It was a small one.
Double whammy.
Oh my gosh. So like, all right, well, we're gonna take her to a safe house, right? We're gonna make this trip, and this is where we get the only car chase that's in the movie. They pull out to take Ingrid to a safe house. Gonzalez pulls out another car. A truck pulls out, takes out Gonzalez, so it's only Sly and by himself. And it starts off with the night slasher is just casually hanging a shotgun out the window of his car, like at a stoplight, and he's just like got it out here like you play with the wind with your hand. Okay, that's how he's
Doing that
like
with a
doing this.
shotgun.
It's Los Angeles in the 80s. Come on.
No, they pull out and they just start shooting at Sly, and this poor car, guys. I was so
It was a
upset.
stunt car.
I know they made a stunt car for it,
3 of them.
but still,
Yeah.
every time that car got shot, dinged, hit, I was just like, it hurt my soul.
It did a little bit. Awesome 50.
What'd you guys think of the car chase, though?
I liked it.
Which one?
I thought the stunt in the car.
The
chase
only
were
car
actually
chase,
pretty good.
really. Well, I guess there's a second car chase, but the one
That
where
was
the first one when they're
Yeah,
going to
that's a
take
good
her to
point.
the safe
Good point.
house,
Good point.
and Gonzalez gets taken out by the one car.
I thought I enjoyed the last. I enjoyed the final
Yeah.
scene better than I enjoyed this one. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, it's just, they do the thing like they did in The Last Stand where he puts his car into reverse.
Yep.
While they're chasing after each other, he reverses his car around. He's got a SMG and he fires about 4 rounds into the grill of this truck and it blows up.
Yes.
Blows, just
Okay.
splits the truck in half.
Smithereens.
Yeah.
A 9mm.
Yep.
that happens.
Shreds
It's a
this-
9mm semi-automatic pistol,
there you
a rifle pistol, more
Yeah.
or less. It's called a Jetty-matic, by the way.
There you go.
But yeah,
Explodes his
just
truck.
shoots his truck with 9mm.
Rachel, have you ever shot up a
Kaboom.
truck before?
I have not.
I love.
And all I could think of when this car chase was happening was just how many accident reports were going to have to be done.
What was the,
Yeah.
What was the one report
what
you
I'm
said?
saying.
That was
So
a
1050 reports. 1050 reports.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Right.
sorry, here's another one. There's another one.
And you're just
There's another one.
All, we're watching the
6
shootout.
months
All
suspension.
Rachel's thinking about is paperwork.
Man, that's a lot of paperwork.
you could say that. You could say that about every cop action movie. Like that's a lot of
Oh,
paperwork.
man.
The one point they come through the parking garage, I did like the shot where Sly drives out of the window of the second floor of the parking garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took a wrong turn. He's like, oh,
Just right
correct
out
it.
the thing. That was pretty awesome. The the another point, the night slasher with his sawed off shotgun with 2 shots blows up 2 separate tankers.
Yes.
Right.
That was
2 I mean, 1 shot, 1 explosion.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how it exactly
Boom,
works.
Boom. Done and done.
Instantaneous.
On top of the fact that he's shooting outside of a porthole window from the hip with a sawed-off shotgun, which has accuracy up to maybe 10 yards.
Right, but he's already driven past these trucks. He turns back,
and
boom,
he's just
boom.
like, well, boom, boom, kaboom, kaboom. 2 tankers. That
It
was
was
great.
Inferno ammo. It was incinerary ammo. You ever played Mass Effect?
Yeah.
But Sly hits the nitrous. Of course, he's got nitrous in that thing.
That was the dumbest little part
Goes
of
from,
it. Like,
goes from 80 to 90.
Dumb?
Ooh.
How was it
At this
dumb?
point, though, is the
did it
matchstick
No,
is
wait, he's a cop.
still in his
What?
mouth through
He's
all
a
of this.
cop. Cops have nitrous.
no, they don't.
All cops have nitrous.
You were right.
All right.
You were right.
Hash it out, guys.
Yeah.
But how is that dumb?
All right. All cops have nitrous. We're gonna roll with that, guys.
Okay.
It had no bearing on the actual scene. It's
What does
like,
that mean?
It cuts
Because it's
away.
not an Academy Award winning
It
scene. You
cuts
hate
away
it?
for 10 seconds, and it's like, but it says nitrous, and he pushes it, and it's like, oh, now I'm going from 80 to 110,
Yes!
and then, okay, going 110, now cut back to a wide shot of them going like maybe 40.
That's not my problem. They're in a pickup truck.
I'm just saying. What purpose did the nitrous serve?
To get away.
To get him up to 99 or 88 miles an hour.
Get him up to
110.
99.9 miles
The
an
Speedometer
hour.
goes up to 110, and then it's like, all right, well now we're back in it. Like it didn't. There was no like cool cutaway to like the car like going like not like in Gone in 60 Seconds when he goes like when Memphis Reigns like hits the nitrous and goes and they're like, oh, he's tired, he's a beeline, or like in Fast and the Furious when they hit the nitrous and there's like, oh yeah, there goes the blue flames out the back. It's like a 10-second.
Yeah, he went from 80 to 90.
It is a completely superfluous nitrous scene.
Oh my God.
One thing we don't need is superfluous nitrous.
How dare you?
literally
If you
came unprepared.
have a scene
This
in your
is
movie
way over my head.
when
way over
some
my head.
guy pushes
Nobody's
a button,
prepared.
Yes.
Ryan Farrell does not approve of it. You cannot break away from any action sequence or anything to do that.
Okay. Let me bring the room down.
Completely disqualifies the whole movie.
Well, not like
Your
bring the room
movie's
down.
trash, sir, because you took 10 unexcused seconds to hit a button.
But it did accomplish nothing because he ultimately crashes anyway. Sly crashes.
Yeah.
Joe's trying to talk.
That's all right. Let me bring it back in. Let me
Yeah.
ground you guys, okay? Or not bring it down. We're
You are
grounded.
both grounded, by the way.
Okay. Out of this whole thing, there was one moment that was completely realistic. Him in the back seat, the bad guy in the back seat while they're going over the bumps, and him just going like that was.
Right. Yeah.
That was the one. I was like, that's exactly
That's
how
great.
it is.
That's great. That was good. That was good.
Is that another trope?
Sure.
Cutaway to cars going over a bumpy road in California
Is that a man?
somewhere?
Is that a man thing?
That's a guy thing. We love it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. It's
Actually, that's all kids in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Because car seats weren't invented. Car seats.
Oh, remember riding in the back of a van?
Oh, I thought-
and you're just like,
Okay, I'm
or the
sorry.
back
I
of the
thought you
school
were
bus. How many
talking about
times
grown men.
have you ended up in a different seat on the school bus because you went over the
Sitting on the
train
last-
tracks?
Oh,
Sitting
yeah.
on the
That's
last
what
seat
we're
of the
doing.
back of
Yeah.
the bus.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
It is good
stuff, man.
stuff. It is.
All right, so Sly crashes his car after the superfluous nitrous application,
Superfluous.
and
Superfluous nitrous application. That's
right.
exactly what it was.
that's what it was.
I need a T-shirt that says that.
We go now. We
How
go
dare you.
now. We go back. I am pro superfluous nitrous application. All right, so we go back to police headquarters. We're just there a scene ago. We're already back, and he's chewing them again. This city has turned into a battlefield. And Sly goes, "This is because it's not just one guy." And Monty right away goes, "Oh, you're just you and this army theory. That sounds pretty weak to me. It sounds like a pretty weak theory. How do you know?"
You're an idiot.
And why doesn't Sly say, because 4 people just tried to kill us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
No, he's got to hold that information.
No,
He's got to hold that information.
Monty still thinks it's just one guy.
This is where the paperwork would come in handy. Because look at all the 1050s, Monty.
How do you know it's more than one guy? Sounds pretty thin.
That's my middle name. With your wife's cooking, I'm not surprised.
Okay. Yeah, so my thought on one of the reasons why this was he the lieutenant or the captain? Who was it? That
Monty,
the jerk.
Monty's just a detective.
Who was such an absolute tool. Was I think in one of the original cuts, they were supposed to have him as part. He was actually going to be part of the Axe cult as well.
In the first screenplay draft,
yes,
it is revealed that Monty is actually the leader of the Axe cult.
Oh, how about that? That makes so much more sense.
It makes so much more sense. So if you put that nugget in, then you understand it. But once you take that nugget out, he's just a tool.
He seems like the biggest tool.
Yeah.
Because of whatever Cobra does or says, he does the opposite.
Yeah.
Or says the opposite. Or rips him.
Yeah.
So ultimately, they let Cobra leave the city. Like, fine, take her out of the city.
Get her out of here.
Put her in a safe house somewhere far away from here because we're tired of you blowing stuff up.
Yep.
I like how they're even like, well, she's in a police station. This is the safest place she can be.
No, they never saw Terminator.
I was going to say, they never saw Terminator.
They were like, well, no. Let's just let him go.
Hospitals are
Let's
supposed to be
let him
safe.
go out to some desolate, middle of nowhere.
At least if they blow
What is
something
it?
up, it's going to be
Foundry.
out there.
Right.
Let's go out to some foundry town.
Kill some oranges.
The foundry.
That's literally what the chief says. He goes, look, at least he will be out of the city, right?
Right.
Like, you know.
Exactly.
If some
So-
oranges get shot, who cares?
What I love about this, when I say love, I
was an
actually
orange
mean
grove.
hate. I thought those lemons. Were those oranges or are they lemons?
I think they're oranges.
At the end of the movie?
Yeah.
In the orange. I think
Oranges.
it was an orange grove.
All right, we'll go with oranges. That's fine.
Yeah.
So as they leave the city, this is the thing that kind of blows my mind. It's an hour and 27-minute movie. So you'd think it'd be real brisk. But this movie still finds a chance to waste 15 minutes of everyone's time.
Yeah.
7 of which was Bridget Nielsen putting ketchup on fries.
How much ketchup do you need on French fries?
I was writing that down going, what the hell? And then
That was
Stallone,
very messy.
He
That's like-
points it out, and I was like, oh.
Right.
I went
was
back and
very
I
messy.
timed it. It was 45 seconds of constant squeezing of ketchup. You know how long, if I sat here for 45 seconds of silence, it would seem like forever. Just squeezing this ketchup bottle for
I thought
45 straight seconds.
I'll be honest with you. I thought that was for the men. I didn't know. I wasn't 100% sure. I thought it may have been for the
No.
men watching the
No.
movie.
I think it's
You know,
because she's
thought-
from Denmark.
No.
Okay, no.
And so she doesn't know.
But there was no mayonnaise. She should.
Well, that's what I'm
have
saying.
mayonnaise.
So she's like, this is what people do in
She's
America,
from
right?
Denmark. She should
Right.
put mayonnaise on the fries.
Yeah,
But she's
I was.
plain an American.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It's really messy.
But the point is they grind the whole movie to a halt just so they can go, wait, before we get to the final battle, we have to take 15 minutes and set up this romance.
Yeah, get
we gotta
sensitive.
shoehorn the romance in there so that that's in place before the final battle.
Stallone needs to make a joke.
Am I
Sly
wrong?
can shoehorn it in.
Yeah. Stallone
literally-
needs to make a joke about this hamburger statue on the counter. Like,
right.
they got to get that in there. Thank
wait a
God for
minute,
that.
Although,
Stallone and Brigitte. Is that how you
Yeah,
say her name?
sure.
Brigitte.
yeah.
They had cornered the market way before. Listen, you know the Wendy's commercials or the Hardee's commercials. The women.
Oh.
When they're
Yeah.
biting into the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the beef?
hamburgers and it's all like all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
They started.
That's
the
what they
ketchup,
were
and
going for.
No one caught on.
Where's the ketchup?
They planted the seed. They incepted.
They did. They planted the seed.
We get
incepted
this
America.
asinine scene. They're on some kind of roadside stop. And the whole point of that scene is just, again, build their relationship more. Then they go to this diner where she applies ketchup for a minute straight.
Sure.
I'm watching this,
Yeah,
and Dana's in
no.
the room with me, and I'm like, she's not stopping.
He's not stopping.
I was like, look,
Come on,
I'm
everyone
writing it
thought
down.
that.
she looks back.
Because
Dana
she
looks back
likes
down at her phone. I go, no, look,
Little
it's
bit of
still
fries.
going.
Yeah.
She's still doing
I was
it.
writing it down, but then when Stallone pointed it out, I had to erase it. 'Cause I
Well,
wanted to call it out.
Even with Stallone pointing it out, it's still ridiculous.
Dude, even because it like cuts away to the fries close up.
Yeah.
And even then you're like, there's like there would have been way more ketchup on those fries than what is actually shown there.
Right.
Oh, but the roadside scene when we get to find out his first name.
Marion.
Right.
Right.
The big old joke
That's
of
the
like,
whole reason.
Oh, go up there and call him, Sergeant
him
Gonzalez, like, hey, shush. And she goes like, hey, Marion Cobretti. And he's like, oh, he talks too much.
Right. That's the point of the scene is literally just to build their relationship
Yeah, yeah.
together. And now she knows something about him. And she's seen under the hard exterior. And they have to have that scene. And they can have the diner where she can ask him about, don't you have a woman in your life? And,
Yeah.
what if you could find somebody so
What if
that
you
they
could
can then
find
have the scene
somebody?
at the motel where she says, get into bed and let's
Yeah.
do some sex.
What if you
You know, that's
Is
called.
that what women do?
It's just
Let's
like
get in the bed
that.
and do some sex.
Yeah.
Do some sex.
there's,
Let's do some
Ellie,
sex.
I'll tell you, looking back on it, at least like Maximum Overdrive was just completely shameless. Of like,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna have this woman literally there just to be a sex object for Emilio Estevez.
They just
Like in movies like this, it's like they got to try to
3 scenes in a row.
Right.
They went bing,
Right.
bang, boom. Or actually,
like,
bing, boom, bang.
let's
is really
try
what
to
it
make
would've
it organic.
Depends.
But no.
This was not organic. This was
And there, you know,
she has trauma. There's a phrase that when you attach to the to your
Stockholm syndrome.
no, it's not Stockholm because those are attached to the kidnapper.
Yeah.
This one's if you're attached to like a police or a doctor or somebody that
Yeah.
your rescuer. It's
Gold
called
digger.
transference.
Oh,
Right.
No.
It's called transference.
sure, it's a form of trauma bonding.
It's trauma bonding. So that's what they're. It's not romance. It's trauma bonding.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like they're trying to shoehorn this like, oh, it's romantic. No.
Look, trauma
No,
bonding.
she's-
The Terminator. Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor.
That's true.
Speed.
Speed, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I
they
guess.
literally
But at
call
least
out
she
trauma
calls
because,
it out.
Yeah, she at least calls it out.
Yeah.
Annie, whatever her name is.
She did, yeah.
Yeah. Sandy Bullock.
Did somebody ever? Never mind.
All right.
No,
Let's move on.
Now I had to.
We got to get to the motel because this is
I'll
where
have
it
to
all
have you
goes
use your
down.
handcuffs for a happy time.
All right, that's it. Do not answer that question.
I will not answer.
So we go to the motel.
Didn't bring a
They're-
pair of fuzzy cuffs.
It's the night before the big showdown, which they don't know yet is coming. And this is where, as you mentioned before, Nancy Stalk, who is also a cultist but has been assigned to the case, went to the safe house with them, which is super inconvenient because she's a bad guy.
Gosh, who
So-
would have thought?
She goes out to the payphone, and this is Cobretti comes out, catches her in the payphone, asks a few questions like, "Why'd you use the phone in your room?" And she's like, "Oh, it's broken." Whatever. And he just goes, "All right, that checks out."
Yep,
Leaves
good.
her back. I'm like, "Well, we know why Cobra's not a detective."
Yeah.
Because
Nope.
so many times.
Well, he did.
This is why
he
we just
did
call him to
notice
walk into
it was cold
gunfire.
outside.
What's that?
You better get inside. It's cold out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he does know, and he's just not showing his hands yet. But no, because the next morning he's like, "Where's Stuck?"
Yeah.
She's going, "What?" And like, so he's surprised
And he finally puts it together. Then.
when she's standing with the bad guys in the truck, going, "They're
Yeah.
over there."
Yeah.
Literally cut away, wide shot. They're over there.
How awesome would it have been
Wait a minute.
in a cop movie now if the bad cop was giving out information in a phone booth and the good cop just walks in, just tosses a grenade in there
Just shoots
without
it.
saying anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to ask you about, Rachel, because he carries grenades. Is that standard issue for cops also to have grenades?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Look,
Do you wish you had them though?
No, I can't even cut a straight line with like scissors. No, absolutely not. I don't want a grenade.
let
Okay.
alone a grenade. We don't need all that.
Fine. Can you imagine if cops had grenades?
That would
How much explosions there would be all the
that's a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
nothing's more
that's-
boring than paperwork.
There's a lot
Right.
of there's paperwork.
The
just
end of this
for
movie is.
Right.
a taser, like a taser deployment. There's packets of paperwork just for a taser deployment. Can you
Yeah.
imagine a freaking fragmentation grenade?
Has that ever happened to you where you were about to tase somebody and you thought about the paperwork and decided not to?
Come on. Maybe a little.
No, there's been times where I've oh boy. Where
It's
I
okay.
felt like, you know, it was almost like the ask for forgiveness afterwards. Like you know, like
yeah.
my sergeant's gonna have to come out here and take a picture. You know, just like not like there's blood everywhere just from spraying somebody.
Yes,
you know,
right.
you know, but it's you have to get them out there to do paperwork.
You do the
know,
mental
so
math.
Sometimes, yeah.
You do the mental math and then you spray.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what helps with paperwork?
What's that?
Music videos. Bottle and shoots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Montage.
do it a montage.
It helps you remember
did
exactly
paperwork,
what
Montage
happened.
your stuff.
just
Right.
montage
Yeah.
the paperwork, you'll be done in 2 minutes.
Oh my God, it'd be so easy.
Yeah.
All right, so we can't have the final showdown without a load up scene in the motel. So we got to get all his guns out on the table. He's got to clean them all up, put them all together.
His 5-pound laser.
5-pound laser on top of his
1980s laser.
light machine gun there that he's got. And of course, this is when she calls out to him to join her in bed,
there.
right?
It's longer than the gun.
The laser is, if you look at the cover of the
laser
DVD,
is
It's like a
longer than
5-pound
the gun.
laser, man.
that's right.
Yep.
It's like
And
12 12 AAA batteries in that thing.
As he's laying out his gun collection, I will say this. I mentioned this to Joe earlier. I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a Cobra emblazoned on every gun that he had.
That would have been great.
And his whole collection should have been custom instead of just the pistol.
He should have went full Batman then.
What's that? On the grenades, Joe.
He should have had Cobra on him.
The Cobra rangs.
Shoots out Cobra fangs in the inside of the grenade when it explodes.
That'd be great.
Just throws.
Or just Cobras.
Just throw.
A snake grenade that blows up.
And snakes everywhere.
Just a
grenade that
Just a basket of snakes.
Explodes cobras.
Why didn't he throw a Cobra at somebody?
Dude.
That was his name, though.
Cobra launcher.
Cobra nunchucks.
Yep.
That would have stopped everyone in their tracks right there.
Cobra
right.
flamethrower. Kids like those ones.
So we get to the next morning, and here we have the final shootout. And I have a theory here. This is, we don't do a lot of film theories on this show, but I have an alternative theory. What if in this movie, Cobra is actually a serial killer in this movie? I feel like he's a serial killer.
Like a Dexter type thing?
And he has lured all of these people to this motel in the middle of nowhere. And it's not the first time he's done it.
Oh.
I feel like if you dug up that backyard of that motel, you would find bodies and matchsticks all over the place back there. Okay?
Just
because
DNA.
it seemed like he was really ready for them all to show up. And I'm like, they don't think this is the first time this has happened.
So he's like, yeah, you all thought you got me. But
That's right.
really, I said
right.
this whole thing.
Hey.
It's like he does this every couple months just to weed out all the.
That's not even a real motel.
Right. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
those bad guys drew first blood.
That's right.
He knows all the layouts of the grocery stores, so he probably picked this hotel.
He
Because
found
he
the
knew
perf-
it. Yeah,
This
he knew it.
this motel property with a foundry on it.
The foundry right next to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
Actually, we will.
We will.
So they come out to the front door. They see Stalk. Stalk has left her hotel and is literally standing with the bad guys, pointing back to them, going, the good guys are over here.
Right
Go
over
and,
there.
Yeah.
go
No,
and kill them. And then all these bikers, they had so many guys,
This is a lot of guys. That's what I love
tons
about
of guys.
it.
We're talking
I love
at
it.
least 100.
The good guys retreat back into their little, these got barely a hotel room. It's like these little shacks, basically. And it's just getting shot up and they're on the ground inside. Well, before that even, Stallone busts the window out. He takes exactly 5 shots with his pistol
And kills
5
exactly
kills.
5 guys. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every shot was a
Once
kill.
Once again, not like just little busted out porthole, like not even like aiming, not sighting, just 1, 2.
Every
3,
time he
4,
would shoot
5.
that, it would cut to some guy flying off of a motorcycle.
And that was it. Not even like
Why
like
were you
a
popping
good,
wheelies?
Yeah.
This is not a set of. This is not a
thank you.
dirt bike.
This is my question.
That's not a dirt bike event.
There's the initial siege and they're shooting, but then after that, they're just driving around, and I'm like, what's the plan?
Yeah.
Moving targets.
What's the
It's
bad
harder
guy?
to hit a moving
Distracting.
target.
You know what? Once again, they brought the sniper with them.
What happened to the sniper guy?
He gets,
So the sniper.
got
So
caught up
eventually,
at the gift
Stallone,
shop.
after he kills the guy in the skylight, okay, they finally leave their little shack, and again, there's just imagine 50 to 100 guys driving motorcycles around in circles, shooting. Some of them are shooting. Some of
They
them are
just
just
casually
driving
walk
around.
out to their car.
They get out to the truck. Ingrid gets in the driver's seat,
Fine.
and this is when we see the first POV from the sniper through the scope. Got kind of a bead on Stallone, but he jumps into the back of the bed
yeah.
before he can get a shot
That
off.
guy
Yeah.
had plenty
Don't
of
shoot
time to shoot
Ingrid
him.
though. She's sitting still. Don't
Don't
shoot her.
the Ingrid.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't shoot the driver.
That
but-
person you've been trying to
Man.
murder the entire movie.
That
Don't
guy
shoot
had-
her.
That guy had all the time in the world to shoot him.
Don't shoot a tire.
He was in awe.
Don't do anything else. Just be
He
like,
was-
oh.
all right, he was awestruck.
Yeah, he was
awestruck.
awestruck. He
I was
saw
like, wow.
Stallone. He's like, God damn.
You know, if there's any little glimmer of hope, I will say I do like the build-up montage. Like when the bikers are kind of like coming through the town, you see like the woman grab her kid, and it's like the typical like,
That was a doll.
Yeah.
or whatever.
The kid was a dummy.
It was a doll. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
It
But
was
they
a
also
damn
push the police
dummy.
back into the
Right,
you know.
like the
you saw-
county, the little local sheriff. The local sheriff's like
You
coming out of the
just got
office,
me.
like, what's going on? And the guy just like grabs him with the gun. Like, "Ah." I mean, for what it's worth, I thought the pacing
Yes.
of the build-up was
No,
like,
the final scene was funny, if not action packed.
sure
It was entertaining.
funny. That's what they were going for.
Here's the funniest thing that happened. Okay, as Stallone is in the back, now Ingrid takes off down the road. Stallone stands up in the back of the bed of the pickup truck, and it's just all these guys, 15 guys on bikes following right behind him. He's mowing them down from a standing position. Not one bad guy returns fire. Not one.
Look, they had axes.
But they had guns because they were shooting them.
They upgraded. We're gonna need.
They can't throw the axes.
I kept waiting because he's standing 5 feet away from them. They're very close to the truck, standing in full view. And every time, like, their buddies get mowed down next to them, nobody returns fire at any point.
Look,
because they're all that. They were Axemen. Just like they had the meeting the night before. Like,
I mean, that's
guys,
a good day if nobody fires back at
we
you.
Can't.
That's true.
We can't throw knives from a. We can't throw axes from a dirt bike, boss.
I want to know.
Just chase him and let him shoot you.
Yeah. I want to know when the
know what to do.
assailant find the one guy that finally gets through it all and gets up to the edge of the truck.
Yeah.
And the bad guy jumps in the truck.
Yeah.
He's just like,
It's thrown.
and then within 2 seconds,
Throws him over the hood.
Indiana
what
Jones
was that
style,
guy gonna
right?
do?
What was the plan?
Did he
What
have
was
an
the-
axe?
What
Did
was
he have
the
a
dirt
gun?
bike? What was the dirt bike guy's plan? We didn't even talk
what
about
I'm
him.
saying.
Back when they were at the motel, a dirt bike guy drives his dirt bike straight through the door of the motel room.
Yeah.
And crashes and falls off the bike and crashes into all the furniture.
Yeah.
And so he can't do anything. By the time he stands up, he gets killed.
He's not even facing it. So Stallone's just like looking at him like,
Okay.
You know that
What
guy
was
was
the
like.
plan for that guy?
Yeah.
Guy was like, guys, check this out. I'm gonna send it.
He's gonna send it.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Yeah. Hold my beer.
It's like, what's the plan, my guy? He just fell off and
I'm
gets
gonna rush
shot.
at him.
he was a martyr.
They end up stopping in this orange grove. And this is when he tells Ingrid,
An orange grove right next to an industrial steel plant.
You know
Yeah.
that the best oranges come from
Yes,
foundry
from the toxic soil that has grown,
From the
that
toxic
leaches
soil
out.
of a
Hey!
Of a steel foundry.
I used to work at an orange juice factory.
Okay.
I got canned.
Oh.
Horrible.
Get her out of here.
you don't know what we do to people that do puns around here.
Yeah.
Okay. We got somebody in jail currently right now. Kurt is currently in pun jail.
Yeah.
I knew Wisconsin was
He's not allowed
full
back on the show
Y'all
for
have
a
people in
while.
jail
He's
for
on a
puns.
timeout.
Okay.
Kurt's not allowed on the show.
Okay, I got it.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, too many puns. That's why we have a counter, because
I know,
that's right.
officially.
We had to keep track of his puns.
Yeah.
They stop in a fruit grove or the orange grove. He tells Ingrid, get to the foundry. Okay. She knows where it is.
Yeah, that's the foundry.
That's a safe place to go.
I mean, you know,
She's
you can't
getting
miss
chased. She's getting chased by Stalk with a shotgun. She gets into the foundry and finds the only person that works there, the security guard behind this glass.
Poor security guard.
She's banging on the window. Help me, help me, help me. Stalk comes up behind Ingrid, shoots the security guard.
with the
Not her, though.
it. Yeah.
Why?
I like she's like, help me, help me, help me. And the security guard's like, hey, get out of here. What are you doing? Get out of
this
here.
foundry.
We're taking care of oranges here.
Get out of here.
This is how orange juice is made.
How many
He's
people
like,
are
oh,
canned
another.
today?
He's like, oh, another movie's got to do a gunfight here. That's what he's doing, right? They always
That's
have
a
to have
cliche right
Yes.
there.
dude. I pictured, I'm watching this, and I pictured a dude, that security guard at the front, and when the employees show up, like, can't go in, they're shooting them. There's a gunfight happening here right now.
Again.
Can't go in, there's a gunfight.
Right? Oh, again? He's like, dude, I got to get to work. I thought of Mel Brooks. Every time we make a Robin Hood movie, they burn our village down.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
every time they make a canon picture, they get shut down this foundry. And I'm tired of it.
We can't make any orange juice here.
Can't make any orange.
This was the 80s. They were obsessed with foundries.
Oh,
They
my
made
gosh.
a movie about this called Risky Business. No, not Risky Business. Oh,
All right, so
I screwed it up.
Cobra gets to the foundry, and he starts taking dudes out. So the first dude he takes out, he sets a grenade up on like a thing, I don't know, where he knew the guys were going to come through.
Yeah.
Hides up on top. They walk in the room. He shoots the grenade.
Get ready. Yeah, that's a trope. Shooting grenades.
Yeah, because
That works.
That works.
That's not how grenades work, guys.
Or about the dumb bad guy that walks down the hallway of open flame.
Well, this is another one of my favorite tropes, because we've talked about it on this show, is Stallone operating machinery in a foundry that he just knows how to use.
Yeah.
It's no business knowing how to use
It's
this.
just like, this is the dial I'll turn to
Hey.
melt this guy.
He had the blueprints.
Yeah, the blueprints. He knew us all. I do have another trope. We have to step back 1 second, though.
Okay. Yes.
Houses are not bulletproof from like 3 feet down. Everything up, you can get killed, but if you're laying on the ground, you're
Can't.
completely safe from
You're
bullets.
safe from bullets.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry,
People
just wanna
can't
go back.
fire that
I'm just
low.
trying to keep track of all the tropes.
That's all good. That's true. So he melts this guy walking down the flame hallway inside the foundry.
The guy can clearly see the flames are on. The torches are all on.
Why is there flames going over into a walkway?
Yeah, this looks like a good idea. I'm gonna walk over here.
This is the worst
unlike
working
Stallone,
condition ever.
Unlike Stallone, I don't know how foundries work.
Well,
he's like a foundry scientist.
They don't have just flames shooting into a walkway for no apparent reason. There's not pits of open lava in the middle of the room. There's not just random sparks being strewn over oil barrels. There's not a portal of flame hell, portal of flames that hooks go through. Like, why do they have all of this stuff just to produce orange juice?
This is to get ready just to get the...
When I watched How Is It Made, and they talked about orange juice, this is not covered. This is bull crap. It's the worst place to work for. This movie's so unrealistic. I'm sick and tired of these movies. You guys, I blame you. You constantly bring me in here to watch these stupid movies. I think I'm done.
Oh, don't be done. Don't be done.
What kind
We need you, Joe.
podcast is this?
It is. It's the worst. Our email address is this show is trash@gmail.com. If you're a foundry scientist, I want you to email the show. Well, you email the show, all the foundry scientists out there, and tell us about this. Okay, please.
I need to take a break.
All right. So
He is spent.
I need to go back to Sniper Guy for a second because Sniper Guy did get a second shot at Stallone, and he ended up just shooting an orange off of a tree.
Yeah.
Right? While they were in the they were in the grove.
I'm back.
The grove still. But here we get Sniper Guy back, okay? And he gets doused in gasoline. Stallone is up on top of this walkway, and here's Sniper Guy with a sniper, where he should be really the one on the walkway, not walking on the ground in full view of everybody.
Was gonna say.
Not a great sniper.
No.
Stallone dumps gasoline on him out of a big drum, okay? Because those are always around for shootouts. That's how you blow bad guys.
It's for the orange juice.
That's right. It's for the orange juice. Douses him. This is the dumbest one-liner in the entire movie. But what I will give it credit for is they actually pay off the matchstick.
They did that.
Which I was like, it was getting close to the end. I'm like, if they don't pay off the matchstick at some point in this movie, he lights the dude on fire.
What's his line though?
You have the right to remain silent.
Oh, God.
Yep.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense.
Please stop screaming while you're on fire.
Sure. You're not going to be silent.
I know there's a big competition
lit on fire.
at the time between him and Arnold, and so he's trying to do the one-liner things. I don't know if it was specifically that, but he was just, I love Stallone. Big fan. But when it comes to one-liners, he doesn't come close to Arnold.
No. Not even a little
He's good for other reasons.
Yeah.
You're ready to be silent.
Armor piercing. Every time you do that, we need to have like what you call it, one of those buttons. Just every time Stallone, armor piercing.
That
goes way back. I think it was way back.
Well, like episode 7 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. So Sniper Guy's burning. So Sly shoots Stalk, who is about to get to Ingrid, and now he is okay. I took care of Stalk. She's definitely dead, and he's going to start looking for the Night Slasher. And he finds the Night Slasher eventually, and I'm just, because it's just a lot of like cat and mouse stuff that doesn't really go in there, but eventually he comes around the thing, and there is the Night Slasher. He's got his laser gun pointed directly at his chest. He's blocking it with his knife. That's how that works.
Yeah.
You can't shoot me. I'm blocking your laser with my knife.
Deflection.
No, you can't get me.
He's tag no
The Night
tag backs.
Stalker, though, has just the absolute worst insult. I mean, he was just letting Stallone have it. Just,
He calls him pig.
pig. Come on. Pig.
Yeah, I have the line here.
Hurtful. It is hurtful.
Is it hurtful?
Does still give you PTSD
Should we
when
not,
somebody
should we
says
not
pig?
say that word?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
He
Let's not
says
say the P word.
This is what the Night Slasher says.
Even the smell of it.
You won't shoot, pig.
Shh. Oh, no.
You have to take me in if you can. This is literally where I wanted to ask you the question, okay? As a police procedure, as far as use of deadly force, he says, you can't shoot me. You have to take me in if you can. And he is armed with a knife. Is that true?
That you have to take them in.
That you cannot shoot him and you have to take him in? Because it's not, if he was surrendering, like he put his knife and gun down and says, hands on his head, now you've got to take me in. But he's literally saying, if you can,
Bring it.
bring it, take me in. I've got the knife. You can't shoot me. I'm pretty sure I'm not a police officer. I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no.
If you're coming at me with a knife, I'm probably going to shoot you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably.
Thank you.
I forgot how many seconds or steps they told us, but it's actually pretty quick that someone can get to you with a knife. So
3
I
seconds.
probably-
3 seconds and 20 feet.
20 feet.
20
That's the
feet
thing.
in 3 seconds.
Right?
Yep.
If they're within 20 feet, you're not going to be able to get a shot off.
Yeah.
Right.
Before they get to you, which people think that can't possibly be true, right? I can get a shot off before 20 feet, but it's faster than you think.
3 seconds, 20 feet.
And in fact, there was an episode of Justified where they literally did. I don't know if you ever saw that show with Timothy
I saw a
Elephant.
few episodes, but
Yeah, there was one where there was a guy
Things to
that
watch.
kills about 3 different people that try to draw down on him, but he gets within 20 feet of him with a knife, and he always gets to them before they can draw off. And yeah, that's how I learned that thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Good, because so he's totally wrong. Sorry.
Well,
I mean,
this is just back to Stallone's very subtle social commentary of the failing justice system in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stallone goes, "This is where the law stops, and I start."
Yeah.
5-second pause. Sucker. Sucker. He ruined it. It was a decent line.
It was all right.
And then the long pause with sucker. Like,
could you imagine being the chief and getting that tape back? All the tapes are coming in from the shift, and you're like, all right, everybody's good. Everybody's good to go.
He sits you down. He's like, "Did you? So did you call this guy
Again with this.
Call this guy a sucker.
You're killing me.
You're, gosh.
killing me, Small.
And stop telling people to go to the judge.
Oh
Crying out loud, we have procedures
That
here.
whole
to the
scene,
judge.
Right.
That whole scene. That was a fun scene
Yeah.
too.
yeah, because they're complaining. I don't know what that was all about, but they complain that we let him out, right? That we put him away and then he lets him out,
Yeah.
right? Talk to the judge. We put him away. They let him out.
Oh.
I do have to say though, I'm glad they completely no-sold the hook.
Yeah.
You know, leading up to this, like I didn't see that coming.
It's just hooks, like
Just this random
rotating.
hook keeps going behind him constantly. They keep showing this fire portal, you know, just constantly. I'm like,
Hey,
they're not
that's
gonna
cool
do,
stuff right there.
It's like
they're not
Mickey
gonna
Mouse.
do anything about
That's
that.
a tool we'll use for later.
Fire.
Well, how do you think you get the juice, Joe?
That's how they. I know.
I mean, how you get the juice?
All right.
Fire roasted
Right.
orange juice.
Stalk. He's about to shoot him,
That
but
might be pretty good.
he's about to shoot the night slasher, but Stalk is still alive. Interrupts momentarily. He takes care of her in short order, but now there's going to be a fight because he doesn't have his gun anymore.
Sure.
And so he never disarms him. He has the knife all the way to the moment he dies. Night slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the most of the fight's not much of a fist fight. It's mostly just that stupid, like, I hate this in movies that they do it. Oh, try not to stab you. I'm pressing this way. You're pushing that way.
And I like the fact that
It's not exciting anymore.
like the
It's
fact
been
that
done so many times.
he like turned his wrist to try
Right.
to get him with the pointy,
With the pointy
those
knuckle
spikes.
things. Yeah.
Pretty sure
Even-
you would have hit muscle failure by then.
I know exactly. Where if he would have just kept his wrist straight, like the knife would have been 3 inches into his face.
Right.
But no, he's like, no, I'm not gonna pull the blade. I want the pointy ones.
I want the
first."
pointy ones.
And then as he backs up,
Yeah.
he's like, "Ooh, maybe if I get the blade back out."
Then you get a couple neck chops from Stallone, and then he lifts him up and puts him right on the hook as it's coming by.
I like how
Really?
he grabbed
Yes.
the chains.
They put him
you
on
know,
a
he had
hook.
the chains and he was
Yeah.
swinging them around. At
That
him,
was cool.
too. It was cool.
But this is the first time we've seen someone get killed via
was
hook
alright.
than since Jason X.
Yeah.
Right? So
Wow.
bringing that back.
Bringing the hook back.
But I didn't
You
see it
obviously
coming.
are not hanging out where I'm hanging out.
Yeah, I didn't
haven't
see
seen
that.
He
You
comes,
haven't seen that.
he comes back out. They're back by the motel, and all the police, Art LaFleur's there, and Monty and all the police are out. And he's like, I just want you to know that whatever you need, whatever you want, you let me know and we'll get it for you. He's like, I'd like a new car. I'm sorry, it's not in the budget.
Yeah.
Is that the most realistic cop thing that happened in this movie?
That was funny.
That was on point.
That was on point.
Nothing else was realistic.
Yeah, right.
But when he asked for something that comes in, it's not in the budget.
On the budget.
That was
Yeah.
on point.
Yeah.
I love it. And right before he leaves, Monty has this, it's my favorite part with Monty. He goes, "Hey, no hard feelings. I mean, crappy job. I would have done it better, but no hard
Yeah,
feelings."
exactly.
Yeah. Right.
I would look for a more subtle solution.
Monty's whole bury the hatchet. Like, well, I would have done things differently, but
Right.
whatever.
He even when he's trying to apologize, he insults him. And so Stallone punches Monty right in the face. Yeah. Art LaFleur's right there. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, you want to ride back? And
he doesn't care.
He's like, nope.
He deserved it.
He's probably fed up with Monty at that point.
I'm fed up with Monty.
Art LaFleur is like, I got to work with this guy every day.
And off they go.
Yeah.
They ride off into the sunset.
I got my own ride, and they get on a motorcycle.
Can you Cobra? I got another. I think this may be the last cop question.
Okay.
But, if there's like a big thing and there's just leftover vehicles from this big crime, can you just like commandeer
yes.
Just like, I'm going to take that one.
Absolutely can. Yes.
Yeah.
When you end your shift, you take what you want. And
drugs, money,
you ride
doesn't matter.
out.
Yeah.
I seen it first. I licked it.
You ride out. You ride out.
So drugs or money, that all counts too,
All
right?
of it.
Yeah.
You just take it all.
Whatever you got to do.
I mean, every night you end with a bang. Every night. You just do what you can. You
all right. So
I want to be a cop.
we're going to give some awards
After
out.
watching this movie and listening to her, I want to be a cop.
We're going to give some awards out like we always do. And so, as always, we start with the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
Oh, boy.
You want a war? I'll give you a war! I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night! If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans. Wow.
Woo! Will Patton bringing the heat.
I love Will Patton so much. I love
It's my guy
so much.
So the Will Patton Award for Intensity is the award we give out to the actor that even though they were in a canon movie and a ridiculous one at that, they gave it their all. Like, it was as serious as a car accident. We are going 100% for intensity in this movie. And I'm doing this like we're in Schindler's List instead of Cobra, 1986. So who is your nomination, Ryan Farrell, for the Will Patton Award for Intensity?
I hate to say it, but Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson, why do you hate to say it? The guy was sweating every scene he was in.
That's what I mean. Like, when, it cuts away to him, like, coming up the escalator in the hospital, I was like, that's the most intense escalator ride I've ever seen.
He was escalating hard.
He was escalating.
Isn't that just his face?
When
That scene really escalated.
He does have...
Sorry, that was a pun.
It's all good. So, Bob, who you got as your nomination?
I would go with Brian Thompson.
Well, Brian Thompson also. Guys, I also went with Brian Thompson as my nomination for yes.
Guess what mine's going to be?
What?
Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson. All right, well, we'll get to the kids' table. We always do the kids' table last, but we got some people from Patreon playing along with us today. As always, we got Mr. Mark the Goose Gussick is here, and he wrote in and said Sylvester Stallone is his nomination. He said any 80s movies with this man in it, he's going to be the most intense person in here. Between his matchstick chewing and putting together his gun towards the end, you couldn't ask for a more intense performance. Now, I don't agree. I had Stallone down before I changed it to Brian Thompson.
Yeah.
I thought it was a smoldering performance from Sly.
Him just no selling, getting yelled at.
Yeah,
Brought down his intensity.
That's true.
That's in my opinion.
And the little scenes where he's like arguing about junk food all the time with Gonzalez, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I thought it lessened the intensity of the character a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like eating the leftover food from Bridget's.
I don't know. It looks like cheese. Take the cheese. Don't take the cake. Eat the cheese.
He lost it.
Yeah.
But that's okay, though. He's entitled to his opinion.
True. Eric Valov went with Marco Rodriguez, the grocery store psycho. And that was
no, it's not bad.
That's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
That's not a pick from the kid left at the bus stop. Good job there, buddy. And we got Big Trucker Mike playing along today. And Big Trucker Mike said, Brian Thompson.
Yay.
He said amazing in every scene. We needed at least 10 more minutes of his work in the movie, and apparently there was probably at least 10 minutes that got cut out.
I mean, who knows? Hey,
who knows?
Hashtag release the Sly cut.
So it looks like Brian Thompson is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity. So give it up for Brian. Nice job. Now, who would you have? Now, in a case of a tiebreaker, we generally go to the kids' table, but who would you have nominated as your Will Patton Award?
The robots. The robots.
That's nice. You enjoyed them?
I did.
All right, that's good.
They were very intense.
They were very stoic.
They were.
The humans are
with
dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially with Brigitte Nielsen grinding on them.
That's why that's
right.
I mean,
With
for
a
them
wedgie.
to hold out that long,
Yeah,
it was.
with a wedgie, right?
Yeah, that's.
Like,
we all had moments there.
Bob's favorite wedgie of the movie. We're getting to your awards in a minute. Hold on. We're going to do Michael Dudikoff. The Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award is the next one we give out to the worst actor in the movie, the one that displayed the range of a trash can full of dirt. So, Ryan, who would you nominate as your trash can full of dirt?
Brian Thompson.
No.
Why?
He goes, he doubles up, he gives him the Will Patton and the Dudikoff.
So how is he terrible?
Look, okay, so he's doing this monologue at the end, right?
Yeah.
That by all probability is really his only scene of dialogue in the movie.
The You Gotta Take Me In, Pig.
Yeah.
The New World, all that stuff.
The new world, this is my world I'm building, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wow, that sucked.
He didn't write it.
No, but he didn't. No actor writes it.
You know,
I guess,
and you want to know something? And this was a little bit of,
Except for Sly, obviously.
a little bit of trivia. So, so Brian Thompson, he's a new star coming into this movie, right? Stallone, obviously already established.
Yeah.
Brian Thompson was like, when we do this scene, I want to do it with you.
Yeah.
Stallone did not have it. Stallone was actually watching basketball while they were filming this scene. And Brian Thompson had to do this scene with the script supervisor.
Oh, my gosh.
So as Brian Thompson was trying to do this scene and trying to get feedback, Brian Thompson also wanted to do like a characterization, back study and everything, and asked Stallone, hey, what's kind of like the background of this guy? Where do I go with this? What's, my motivation?
Can I answer it? His response was, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stallone's like, you're just a bad guy.
Yeah, but look, I mean, it's kind of obvious to me. And the reason I didn't put Sly up for the Will Patton is because being a fan of his and seeing almost all of his movies, this wasn't a great performance as his, graded on his curve.
Sure.
For a Sly movie,
no,
he was sleepwalking through this one.
He was, from all probability, this is like the height of Stallone's, like he's just done Rocky IV, just done First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
Height, like 85, king of the box office.
Right.
Walking on freaking high and mighty.
Yep.
The cinematographer had it out for him in this movie. Stallone had said something like, oh, well, we're behind schedule. And the cinematographer was like, yeah, because you're busy dicking around with Bridget Nielsen and, flexing for your bodyguards.
Okay,
yeah.
Well.
Yeah. No, it's true.
There you go.
So Brian Thompson of all, back to our, trash can full of dirt. He even afterwards had said something, and George P. Cosmatos even told him after the fact, was like, well, you could have been better if you just listened to me.
Oh, geez.
And I just feel bad for Brian Thompson. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh,
I feel bad for him
guy
too.
That was like really trying to come in and like,
you gave him the trash can.
Yeah, way to go,
like
jerk.
But you know what? That monologue, which was this is the quintessential bad guy moment. Things come together.
Joe.
And
Ryan Farrell is the only person I ask for an award and I get a 10-minute answer.
I know.
You know what?
This has all been great. I'm not criticizing. I just think it's funny. That's all.
If he's going to give something away, he wants to make sure.
No, this is good. Yeah. This is all gold.
When I left my house, I told my family I'll be back in a couple days. Because I knew I was on an episode with Ryan Farrell.
No, but give me the rest. The quintessential. I want to hear the rest.
Quintessential bad guy moment.
Yes.
Every movie has this, right? Yeah. And Brian Thompson sells it.
Yeah. But it's ruined by Stallone.
That's so. I mean, once again, trash can full of dirt based on performance standards.
Hold on a second. The guy that produces the film did he produce this film?
Sure. Why not?
Two Polacks produces the film.
So look.
Hey.
Wait a second.
Watch yourself.
So the star of the movie, when the bad guy says, "Hey, I want to feed off of you."
You know what? Those are Greek. They're
whatever.
Greek.
I don't care who they are. They're the same general vicinity. Those guys. No. Why? You're blaming Brian Thompson for that. Ryan, I want you to work with me on my scene. Get licked. I'm gonna go. Full route.
I'm gonna go to my trailer and
James
sleep with
like,
my
so
Superman.
We're gonna stick those two together because we know they're gonna fight.
Right.
Yeah. Had no choice in the matter.
Because I asked, where do you want me to sit? He's like,
I'm not
sit here.
blaming.
Yes, you just said it was his fault.
Perfect.
You just said it was his fault.
His idea.
I'm saying, look,
when the two producers and this guy tell you, no,
can I get a
you're
crayon?
You're going to do it the script supervisor.
Wait, I have the.
It's his fault.
It's not his fault.
No, it's not. Retract your award.
If there was a trash can full of dirt at some point in this movie, if there was a trash can full of dirt doing a scene, it would have been Bad guy monologue at the end.
Damn it.
All right.
Sorry.
No.
I
It's
did
okay.
it again.
I appreciate the passion with which you guys are arguing this. Bob, I'm assuming you're not giving your trash can to Brian Thompson.
No, I'm giving it to Sylvester Stallone.
That's
Stallone.
fair, too. That's
yeah,
fair.
no. This was his worst performance in the movie. He was the worst.
Can you open that?
Yeah,
can
hold on.
right
I'll open
there?
it right now.
Yeah.
Give me this movie.
Just the whole
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Just put it.
Gonna put it in the trash can?
Trash can full of dirt.
Careful with the cords. Okay.
This was your worst epic performance.
Okay.
It's done.
All right. I gave it to Brigitte Nielsen. That's who
That's
I
another
gave it.
thing.
Yeah,
That's
and you know
another
what?
thing.
That's a fair call too.
He literally screwed everybody in this movie to make himself look good. And he was the worst actor in the movie.
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, he was bad.
He was
I just thought
terrible.
Brigitte
He
Nielsen
effed up
was
Brian
even
Thompson's
worse.
character. He effed up Bridget Nielsen's character.
Yeah. I just thought Brigitte Nielsen was a little worse. Stallone was bad. It was his worst performance, I think, out of his movies.
Why? Why would you cast Bridget Nielsen as a damsel in distress?
know.
She's a foot taller than you.
Yeah.
Because I gotta see.
And you got this
She's like
muscly guy to
She's
play
a European bodybuilder who's taller than you.
You got this beautiful, muscly guy with one of the weirdest facial features to play a serial killer.
Yeah.
And you ruined it by walking
right.
away to go finger bang a chick on set.
and watch basketball.
Okay.
And watch basketball.
basketball.
Screw you. You fucked up your own movie.
Oh, hey.
Wow. And this is wait a minute.
All right,
and this
all
is
right.
coming from the
Have to move on.
Stallone lover.
I know he loves Stallone.
I love Stallone.
So I can't give my trash can full of dirt to Brian Thompson while also
Joe.
defending him, but you can give your trash can to Stallone while also being the biggest Stallone fan?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Because I'm pointing
All right.
out the facts of why he ruined his own movie.
All right. Joe, who is your nomination for the trash can full of dirt?
Okay, so my trash can full of dirt is going to be Andrew Robinson. And basically
Monty.
or
Yeah,
any of the detectives or chiefs or any all of those guys, they could have been played by trash can full of dirt.
Well, we got 4 votes.
In one particular, hold on a second. In one
please.
particular from the police squad that really drove me nuts was the sketch artist.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
I just did this. Like, oh yeah, this is Brian. This is Brian Thompson right here, guys.
That's so accurate.
It's pretty good, actually.
That's
It's very good.
He's a good-looking guy.
if I could do that, I could be a sketch artist for the police.
Yes.
Police.
Yes.
What movie is that in when like they do the sketch artist and he holds up like a picture of Mr. Potato Head? Isn't
That was Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
That was
It's
Naked Gun.
right? I couldn't remember if it was Naked Gun or Loaded Weapon.
All right, so we've got 4 different votes. So as we go to the Patreon, it's still wide open. We've got
Wow.
4 different votes here. And so here's what the patrons had to say. Big Trucker Mike said it was the cult of killers that, like, literally all of his cronies, they could have been clowns or postal workers. They would have been more interesting. They were very bland, the killers that were,
Yeah.
besides
Sure.
the Night Slasher,
Sure.
they were all very bland. Eric Valoff said it was Lee Garrington as Nancy Stalk. So still
we are
individual
not-
votes.
Yeah.
But wait, the goose, Mark Gussick, comes in with a vote for Brigitte Nielsen.
Oh my
Cha-ching.
gosh.
How can you mess up pretending to be a model or anything you do in this movie? Just ask her. All of her reactions are straight garbage. She can't even apply ketchup to French fries in a believable manner.
It's
Yeah.
true. She was very overselling that ketchup.
So, Rach, who would you have voted as your trash can? Who was the worst actor in the movie?
The robots.
The robots.
They pulled off the trash can
Yeah.
pretty well.
They were literally trash
They,
cans.
they did. They pulled it off pretty
They
well.
were made from trash cans.
So
That means that Brigitte
Honestly,
Nielsen.
the Monty guy, whoever was
Yeah.
that guy, I did not like.
Brigitte Nielsen's going to win the Trash Can Full of Dirt award. So thank God.
Barely.
We didn't come down to one of your two, or the argument would have continued. So,
Hey.
because it's a Bob episode, we have to give out the Sherilyn Fenn hot. I'm sorry, what is it called now?
This is Sherilyn Fenn, Carrie Hauser, Hot Baby
Hot
Award.
Babe Award.
Sherilyn Fenn, Carrie Hauser, Hot Babe Award.
All right, so who's your nomination for that, Bob?
That's what she said.
Or who's the winner, rather? You picked the winner.
Oh, it was really a close call.
Nancy Stalk.
Yeah, I was
think it's a
getting
nurse.
It's
It was a
between
nurse in
Nancy.
the elevator.
It was a nurse.
My choice.
It was between the 2 nurses,
Yeah.
Nancy Stalk and Brigitte Nielsen. So I think I went with Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah, you know, and
Close
so did Eric Valov, who wrote in knowing it was going to be a Bob episode. So he
Oh,
picked the
cool.
Sherilyn Fenn Award too.
You know who I
and
would've
also went to
gone with?
Brigitte Nielsen. Yeah.
Brian Thompson.
Well, The Rain Award we give to the hottest dude when Bob's here. So, Bob, who wins the Rain Award this week?
Brian Thompson.
No. Let me just say, justice for fruit stocking guy. That dude,
farm stand guy.
Farm stand. That dude was jacked.
Yeah. And he had an 80s mustache to boot.
It's true.
He could handle those cucumbers like no other man could.
Eric wrote in for this one, too. He said it was David Rash for being the quintessential 80s I want to nail you guy. And he even called out Sledgehammer, too. He's like, that was the hottest guy in the movie.
Sure.
Apparently, he thinks Bridget was nuts for not wanting to get with him.
I'll tell you.
Nuts.
All right, so this we have to do in quick order. So our top 3 awards, let's just rattle them out, argument free if possible. Okay, who are your top 3 performances in the movie?
Brian Thompson.
Oh, that's it.
No, you know what? The only,
He said he was the trash can.
The only performance, Rennie Santoni,
Yeah,
right?
Gonzalez.
Sergeant Gonzalez. Doesn't it Rennie Santoni?
Rennie Santoni. That's it. Yeah.
He's the only performance in the movie that's actually good.
I loved him.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, he was great.
That's it.
Bob, who you got? Top 3.
Top 3, I would go with Gonzalez, Thompson, and then I would have Stallone in there too.
All right, there we go. I went with Stallone at number 3, just because it's not. I think it's his worst performance, but there's not a lot of enjoyable performances in this movie, and so I have him in there because as much as he was sleepwalking through it, there was enough ridiculousness that I enjoyed. You know, kind of.
He gave you a little bit of enough of what you paid money for.
And then I got Rennie Santoni at number 2 for Gonzalez, and I got Brian Thompson number 1 for my top.
There you go. Okay. Brian Thompson.
Yeah. So who you got, Joe?
So we're gonna go Sergeant Tony, number 3.
Okay.
Brian Thompson, number 2.
All right.
And I think the guy's name is Brad Bovee.
Oh. Who
He
you
is the
play?
innocent bystander who got killed.
Oh, that poor guy.
Justice for Brad.
Pour one out for Brad.
Justice for Brad.
He did a good death.
He sold that thing.
He did.
man.
He looked like a dove.
Dude, like, it's like he turns the corner and wants to say, what is going on? But before he even gets it out, it's like,
Axe to the chest.
No
Gone.
line for you.
no line for you.
Who are your top 3 favorite performances?
let's see.
I think the robots are one, right?
Assuming the
Robots are
robot,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going
3
to go
robots.
with
Lead sketch artist.
the. I could not tell if it was an adult or a child. I'm going with adult with the fur coat that was in the machine-operated game thing. In front of
the frog.
In front of the.
Yeah, the frog.
Yeah, in front of the
Yeah.
grocery store.
Yep.
Number 2,
Not bad.
Okay.
That's fair.
and camera guy.
Camera guy number 3.
sold it.
He did.
He sold
Yeah.
it.
He was good.
He did.
I thought a good acting also, if I had to pick like a runner-up, was the couple right in the beginning of the movie arguing in the parking lot.
Oh yeah,
that was-
yeah,
that
I
was-
think
that
they just
was.
captured that
Yeah.
fight.
It is.
It's
Just like this.
That's pre-domestic abuse right
Right.
there.
Second unit's just like, oh, these people are fighting over here.
What if this movie? What if this movie was awesome if there was cart narcs in it in the beginning?
God,
Yeah,
fucking
cart
into that. So, Big Trucker Mike had Marco Rodriguez at number 3. A lot of love for the grocery store guy. Lee Garrington, he had at number 2, Nancy Stalk. And number 1, he had the 1950 Mercury lead sled.
Ooh,
See?
clever.
He likes
Clever girl.
Oh, okay.
it. Is a Mercury. That's I
not
didn't-
The lead.
I was, oh my gosh.
Well, it doesn't maybe Buick owns.
no, it's
Mercury
there.
owns-
Oh my god,
They're
the
gonna be
car
so
guys
mad.
are gonna murder me.
I'm so mad.
I lost all the nerd cred from Shredder.
That's what happens when we don't have Clint on here. We talk about a car.
Mercury,
Now-
Buick, and Lincoln are all like the.
That's
you
fine.
know.
It's Ford Lincoln.
Eric Valoff went with Brian Thompson, number 3, Stallone, number 2. So Valoff thinks Stallone was better than Brian Thompson in this movie. And number 1, Marco Rodriguez from EV.
Dude, Marco Rodriguez.
No, we screwed up with the car.
And then Mark Gusick said number 3, Reno Santoni as Gonzalez. He put everything he had into the role, and he enjoyed the way he kept putting it all in for eating crappy food all the time. Number 2, he gave the award to himself.
What?
He gave the award to himself for being smart enough to not actually buy this pile of crap and only rent it through Amazon. That's a win in my book.
Isn't this movie like $5 on DVD?
I actually, believe it or not, when you do like Amazon Prime, you like choose when your delivery date. If you like bump back your delivery date, they give you a little extra towards a purchase of some sort.
Something.
Yeah. They give you the $1 to digital reward.
Exactly.
If you
I got to watch this movie for free
nice, nice,
because of that. That's the only reason.
Nice.
Never hit instant day delivery.
His number 1,
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
and not surprising for Mr. Gusick, because he said this guy won the Will Patton Award. He gave it to Sly for number 1. He said he was the most enjoyable person out in this movie. That's it. That's the reason. So,
Okay.
Mark, I'm not going to ever hate on anybody for loving on Stallone. I love Stallone, just for me personally, not in this movie. So,
Absolutely. I
in
love
fact,
Stallone too.
I think the movie would have been way better if it had starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, I'm just going to be
Are
the
you
one to say
serious?
it.
What?
I'm just going to be the one to.
Why?
Dude, he slept walked through the whole thing. Arnold
agree
would have
with you.
never done that.
Oh my God.
Arnold would not have slept walked through the movie.
So maybe Arnold should have played the Night Slasher.
Oh, if we had again, I'll always be out there championing a Sly Stallone face-off.
If
That would have been great.
if we
Their
Alien
egos.
versus Predator type
if
thing.
Yeah.
we
Their
if we
egos were
had
too big
had-
to make that
Eddie
happen.
versus
Yes.
Jason.
If we had a Schwarzenegger Stallone team up in the 80s,
Yeah.
it would have been
They ruined it. They ruined it.
far superior to Escape Plan.
No, for sure.
Well, Escape Plan, they did it because they're older and nicer now.
That's what Escape Plan's like a
but
good
back
movie,
in the,
but it's
because back in the
forgettable.
80s, they hated each other.
They would have made $100 billion.
If,
It would have
if
been
they
the
had
first billion-dollar movie.
Schwarzenegger as the Night Slasher
Yeah.
and Stallone as Cobra,
Dude.
and then actually had a real
and-
fight scene.
And I
in
think
the
if that
Foundry.
happens, Stallone doesn't sleepwalk through it either.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, they play it like it could. Oh, guys, could it have been Pacino, De Niro, and Heat?
I don't know. Could have been.
But
Yes.
you know,
Gussick says, we all know Arnold would make this movie better. Either have him play the bad guy, like you said, or have him and Stallone switch roles and have Stallone play the Night Slasher. Either way, movie 1 billion times better. This is from Mr.
yeah,
Gussick.
absolutely.
So I think even you make him Ingrid in a wig, and they're pretty close body type, him and Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah.
And so maybe you wouldn't even know, right?
yeah,
Getting long legs.
I mean,
He's like, hold on, I like ketchup on my French fries. Why don't you have a woman that keeps you company at night? Why are you doing this to me?
can you send this to our deep fake guy?
Oh, God.
Who's our deep
be
fake?
fantastic.
Who's our deep fake guy? The Arnold deep fake guy.
Oh, how about Arnold just
to
as
bed with
Monty?
me.
What if Arnold was Monty?
Yeah.
You the worst police officer ever. What is the matter with you? You do nothing right. Because he always would troll Stallone all the time in real life.
Right.
He just took the part so he could just tell him how crappy he was in every scene.
yeah.
Be fantastic. All right, look, guys, we got to land somewhere here. We ultimately have to make a final determination. We have belabored this point, and we are now at the finish line. So, my God, this is our longest episode we've ever recorded.
Wow.
Yeah. So, is this a good movie? Full stop. No qualifiers. Everyone's wrong. The critics, audience, wrong. Or is it no? Everybody's right. It's a bad movie. Full stop. Or is it? Yeah, we'll admit a bad movie, but it's a bad movie that rules because I enjoyed the crap out of it. Where do you guys come down on this, Ryan?
The edited version.
It comes down to bad movie that rules.
Okay.
Despite the fact that this is very clearly a Stallone vanity project
Yes.
with the worst ham-fisted social commentary this side of Crash.
Fair enough.
I mean, yes, it's a fun movie to watch.
All right.
It's an absolutely fun movie to watch.
There you go.
So, like, once again, everybody, let's jump on that bandwagon. # release the Sly cut. I
do it.
want to see the 130-minute version of Cobra.
All right. We'll see it. Someday we'll see it.
The 14-year-old boy in me
Yeah.
knows that this, like, the 14-year-old boy in me says this is a great movie. The 35-year-old man knows that this movie sucks.
All right, Bob, where'd you land on this one?
It's a bad movie that rules.
That's it?
That's it.
I thought you were going to, because you were so mad about Sly's deal here, I thought you were going to go the other way. So I'm
No.
surprised.
I was mad. Like, I didn't know anything. I was a huge Stallone fan.
Yeah.
And Brian informed me about all the backstage drama
Gotcha.
with this. So I actually went and did research after I watched the movie.
no.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Ruined
like,
it for you.
I'm like, this guy did that?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, why would you do
Sabotage.
that to an actor? That's why I'm like, you literally, a gentleman, like, you got this guy in this movie and he has no prior experience, and you, like I said, told him to kick sticks, and then that's what you
didn't
get.
care.
So it's like, yeah, no, that was a very bad delivery on Brian Thompson's part. However, half the blame does go to Stallone for not helping him out in that.
Fair enough.
Bob and I have this thing. I'm sorry. It's just, we're almost done. But it's
He's
like we
really
said.
sorry.
No. We
Sorry.
love.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
We talk about Sylvester Stallone. How often do we talk about Sylvester Stallone?
A lot.
Almost every day.
lot.
Almost every day.
2 hours and 14 minutes. A lot.
Bob and I talk about Sylvester Stallone almost every day in some capacity. And it's just funny how, like, you think he's, he comes across as this great guy now. Like, he's open to fans, does all this for his fans now. And you, like, just this pile of crap from the 80s and how he was.
Yeah, because he,
yeah.
you know, he started off. Sure, he was probably a super nice, humble guy, and then he got rich and famous, and he had a douche phase.
And then he got a piece of humble pie, and now he's back to being awesome.
I'm stuck in my own personal hell.
Okay,
It's like something's going on. I'm in a 2.5 hour Cobra episode. How the hell does this happen?
You said we didn't have to worry about time anymore.
I know, but the movie is an hour and 27 minutes.
We are so sorry. We are so sorry.
We're about at the time of what the original runtime.
Sorry.
We're past it. We got 4 more minutes until we reach Independence Day.
All right.
all right.
Joe.
Okay.
Good Lord.
In 1986.
Yes.
This is a good movie that rules.
Okay.
And today, no, here it is. It is a bad movie that rules.
All right. So you're all so far going to say bad movie that rules.
Yes. But it was a good.
Rachel, what about you?
I follow that.
Bad movie that rules?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right.
I did.
Well, now let me give you my opinion. Since the dawn of time. I'm just kidding.
We should have like the lights dim down, a little spotlight comes on you.
This is a bad movie. Full stop.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't.
You shut your
I
face.
can't. I can't, guys. It's bad. I didn't even enjoy it.
What about 1986? Was that a good 1986?
I watched Hands of Steel, which was the same year, 86.
Sure.
And it's terrible. And I enjoyed the crap out of it.
It was Raul.
I didn't have any fun. I watched this movie, and there's some funny things, but I didn't have any fun watching it.
When's the first time you saw Cobra?
Here's what I wrote down. And I'm on the fence because I literally bad movies, ... I don't know. Like I literally couldn't make up my mind.
Yeah.
So I say bad movie, acknowledging that I'm really on the fence to go rules. But I was so disappointed with it. So that's my answer there. And just to wrap this up for the guys on the Patreon, Eric Balov said this is a good movie. Full stop.
Wow. Ballsy move.
Bold.
Yep.
Bold move.
Bold move, Cotton.
They must be playing it 24/7 at the bus stop. Big Trucker Mike said bad movie that rules. He said it's totally a ripoff of Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah.
But still a pretty good bad movie. So Trucker Mike's willing to give it that.
I mean, total ripoff of Dirty Harry.
That's and even which
literally has Dirty Harry actors in it.
Gussick is literally just about to say he stole his thunder a little bit there. But Mark says this almost feels like an updated version of Dirty Harry for the 80s. They even used some of the same actors from that movie.
Sorry.
The beginning montage was dumb and jarring, starting off with weird robots to set up Nielsen's character.
Yeah.
I'm glad Sly knows how a warehouse works enough to know exactly which knob to turn to set a guy on fire. Thank you. The one-liner that you have the right to remain silent when he sets the guy on fire only to have him scream is nonsense. See, he's got a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what this movie's fascination with setting bad guys on fire is, but here we are.
You know.
Thank goodness this movie was so short. Oh, you're not asleep yet, Brigitte? No, you jackass. I've been laying down for 3 minutes and you're over there putting together a gun more loudly than a jackhammer running through a china shop. My dog poop scale is as follows. He's adopted the Ryan Mueller dog poop scale.
Oh, okay.
This movie is like when you come home to find your dog crapped in the corner of the house. You know it's a bad thing, but at least it's in that one spot and you can clean it pretty easily, which equates to a bad movie that rules. So my wife and I also, just want to say, had a great time dissecting this movie while watching it. Okay.
It's like the dog crapped in the kitchen on the
right.
vinyl, so it's like, let's see.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Guys,
Rub his nose in it.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Know what you did.
Next week, we're going to, and if we did 2 hours and some odd minutes on this one, I don't know what the hell we're going to do next week. But next week, we are talking about another all-time classic from our childhood, 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So glad I'm not here for that.
The
I am
original
going to be in Alabama.
Turtles.
That's the theme song.
Sure. That's pretty good.
I can't be on this.
Hold on. And
But I'm
now-
excited to go back to it.
And now Kurt Mummer is making his return for this.
He is not. Kurt Mummer is still in pun jail.
Wow.
Yeah. And he loves Teenage Mutant Ninja
Dude,
Turtles.
I was just going to say, doing
screwed
Teenage
up.
Mutant
He
Ninja
screwed
Turtles
up bad.
He's in pun jail?
without Kurt.
Mummer?
Yeah,
He
that's
screwed
right.
How
up.
many puns?
That's rough.
He did like 47 in one. He literally
Okay.
stopped the show to read off his paper of puns that he had written down.
Oh,
Yeah,
That was
it
And I'm
was
like, Kurt,
ridiculous.
I love a good pun.
Gotcha.
Which one was that?
Condor Man.
Condor
But then
Man.
Short
Condor Man.
Circuit 2 was...
Condor
Yeah.
Man.
I let Condor Man go. That was funny. But then Short Circuit 2 is when he went into pun jail at that point. A pun is anyone enjoys a good pun
Everybody
in conversation.
Yeah.
Not really great things because it stops the whole thing.
It does.
But, you know.
I would just like to apologize for mine today.
I'm embarrassed you have my last
I'm
name.
super sorry.
That's all right. Join us next week for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay. In the meantime, I want to just say on behalf of my sister, Rachel, thank you so much for coming in here.
It was great to come in here with you
I'm
guys.
glad you were here. Hopefully it's not too long before you're back for another episode. And it doesn't even have to be a cop-centric one. You can just come for,
I have
one. A wide range.
knowledge.
A wide range
So
of
much
knowledge.
knowledge.
How to use a foundry.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Not about orange juice.
Yes.
On behalf of the Alpha Male, Joe Gorotowski, Ryan Farrell, and Bob Hauser, I'm James Hauser. I want to say thank you for listening. It's over. This episode's over, yeah. It's finally done. Stop talking about Cobra. Dun, 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 dun.
Good job, James. Don't leave me hanging for the third
I'm
time.
sorry.
Jeez.
James, I just wanted to say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Stop.